Saskatchewan Rush Lacrosse, live on 98 Cool.
Now, time for the opening face-off.
Here's the voice of the Rush,
John Fraser.
And welcome back inside the SaskTel Center. First face-off is just moments away in a battle for first place in the West Division. The 6-3 Saskatchewan Rush, they lead the 6-4 Colorado Mammoth by 1/2 game in the division standings. Whoever wins tonight gets to go home and say, hey, we're in first place. My name is John Fraser. Beside me upstairs is color commentator extraordinaire Casey Guerin. Down betwixt the benches is our man Todd Joyce. We get you all set. Should be a real good battle here, Casey. What are you expecting tonight?
Well, the last time, it was a great game. It was the lowest scoring game in the NLL this season. Scored 8-7. Colorado, a very disciplined team, only taking fewer than 12 penalty minutes per game. So I expect a lot of 5-on-5, and it should be a good one. Top two teams in the West here.
Well, if you look at the way that everything breaks down, too, Saskatchewan undefeated at home, 2-3 on the road. The Mammoth an even 3-2 at home and 3-2 on the road. Both these teams can score. Rush sitting fourth in the league with 118 goals for. The Mammoth, it's sixth, but it's a little deceiving as they've scored 115. So especially with how beat up they've been, Casey, that number is extra impressive.
Well, what's impressive to me, they've won 4 out of their last 5. The only loss in that 5 being here in Saskatoon with a depleted lineup and only losing by 1 to this powerhouse Rush team who doesn't lose at home. So I've been really super impressed with them. They don't make a lot of mistakes, John. They're not at the top of many categories per se, but they play a really clean game, and they're not an easy team to play against, especially when Dylan Ward stands on his head.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think Dylan Ward can play any better than he did the last time these two teams were here. Starting for the Colorado Mammoth tonight, Greg Downing, Robert Hope, Cameron Holding, Dan Coates, and Joey Capito starting in goal. No surprise. Nearly stole a win last time was Dylan Ward on the season. 6-2, second in the NLL with a 10.16 goals against, 803 save percentage. That is tops the league by a wide margin. Starting in goal for the Saskatchewan Rush is Stone Cold Aaron Bold, as they call him around these parts. 1085 goals against, 766 save percentage. Goals against is fourth. Save percentage is ninth. Starting for the Rush is Kyle Rubish, Curtis Knight, Chris Corbeil, Adrian Soroketti, and Jeremy Thompson. The aforementioned Mr. Thompson standing right over the ball at mid-floor right now. Thompson on the season, 114 face-off wins, 211 losses. That's 54%. He's going to square off with Dan Coates, the captain of the Colorado Mammoth. 120 wins, 216 losses, out of 216 tries, 55.6%. And we are underway here. Another sold-out crowd at SaskTel Center. It's going to be loud. Trust us, Todd will tell you. Two teams lock horns as the ball heads right towards Todd beneath the benches. Rush wearing their home black jerseys with the green trim, white numbering, the Mammoth on your screens and in your ears, wearing the white road jerseys, black trim, along with a little bit of burgundy, we'll call it. Rush go to work on offense. It's Marty Dinsdale far side, back to Mark Matthews. Curtis Knight has it now on the near side as the righties go to work. Finds Dinsdale alone, and already Dylan Ward coming up with a massive save as he popped his shoulder up to rob Marty Dinsdale.
Yeah, did he ever? It's big for goalies to, make that first save and get them into the game, as you would know, Johnny.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst thing is when you get beat on that first one, you just feel so small for the rest of the game. Callum Crawford to Chris Wardle as the Mammoth offense goes to work, led by former Rush Zach Greer. Gets a smattering of cheers and boos. I don't know why the heck you'd boo the guy here if you're Saskatchewan. Give your head a shake.
Yeah, all-time Rush leader in goals scored still.
And trust me, it wasn't his choice to leave. Back down on the far side is Danny Taylor, my usual flying partner, as he draws into the lineup for Ryan Keenan. It's Robert Church with it now, though. He cuts in the middle, gets it back to Matthews, goes to work Colorado territory. Matthews trying to drive in, bounced outside. He's got it back up top. Matthews held without a goal last week in Vancouver, and he's going to take a shot, easy save with the giant M of Dylan Ward. In transition is Jordan Gillis. Gillis tripped up for a minute. He's going to go back to Adams. Adams meets up with Thompson, back to Wardle on the near side. Adams goes back down low. That's Keogh, who played his first game as a member of the Mammoth here in Saskatchewan last time these two teams met. Eli McLaughlin having a massive breakout season. Low shot there. 19 goals, 24 assists. Add them together. That's 43 points. Crawford also having a big game. A shot. Picked up his own rebound. big season, I should say, is Callum Crawford. 20 goals, 38 assists, 58. He's fourth in the NLL in scoring. Adrian Soroketti now up over half and into Colorado territory. Takes a shot. Dylan Ward turns that aside with his stick. Colorado taking it now. Far side is Dan Coates. Runs into Thompson and Cornwall. Rue in there as well. So is Nick Billich. But of a rugby scrum, it pops out. It's going to be grabbed by Billich. Billich pops it up to Thompson. Thompson in transition. Cornwall had run the floor. He's going to wait for the offensive mates to take over. 12:38 left to go. Opening quarter. Scoreless betwixt the Rush and the Colorado Mammoth. Robert Church to the far side. That's Danny Taylor. Draws in for just his second game of the year. In his only game of the year, he had 2 assists. Back to the righties. That's Ben McIntosh. He comes in, goes back to Danny Taylor, takes the shot. It squeaks through Dylan Ward, but stays in the crease before he can cover up. Dylan Ward already looking sharp here early on, Casey.
Well, he is, and you know, the Rush early on in the season, their shooting percentage was really good, scoring at a high clip. The last 3 games, not so much. They've run into some hot goalies.
Keogh to Rue, and he shoots and scores, and Mammoth strike first, putting it up over the right shoulder of Aaron Bowl. Nice little pass from Keogh to find Rue. And despite the play being mostly to our broadcast left in Colorado territory, it's the Mammoth scoring force. First, coming into the middle was Jacob Rue with his 12th of the season.
Well, nice look by Rue to just see the middle of the floor open, come streaking in. Nice find, and nice job burying it past Bold for the first lead of the night here for the Mammoth.
So 12:04 left to go in our Dodge City Auto first quarter. 1-0 Colorado leads. Rush with it off the faceoff. It's Minsky. He goes up to Ryan Dilks. Dilks just over half. Cameron Holding on him. Bounces it back across to Adam Jones. Former member of the Mammoth nearly hits Dilks with a bounce pass intended for Corbeil. Picking it up now, far side, down low, is Mark Matthews. Matthews going one-on-one with Ilya Gaich. Bounce pass back to Curtis Knight. Comes up short. Look out. Here comes Gillis. Gillis one-on-one with Matthews. Matthews wraps him up, takes him down, and out of nowhere, Mark Matthews takes a scoring chance away from Gillis.
I got to be honest, John. I think Mark Matthews may have gotten away with one there.
Oh, I would agree. I would definitely agree. It looked like high and rappy and all those kind of things. Back in Mammoth territory is Dan Taylor. His pass for Robert Church broken up. And the ball will bounce off of a Mammoth player and into the crowd here at SaskTel Center. So good break if you're a Rush fan as Dan Taylor takes it far side corner. Danny Taylor back up top for Ben McIntosh. He goes down low for Robert Church, looking for some room. Church gets some help, and they're going to say an illegal pick on Ben McIntosh, and Colorado takes over. Chris Wardle now in. Wardle on a post, shoots and scores. Snipes the top corner over the right shoulder of Aaron Bold, and it's 2-0 Colorado. 11:06 left to go in the first.
Well, that's just a great shot in transition by Wardle there, posting in. But just going back to where that started from, a moving pick, a legal pick, however you want to call it, on the Rush there. It seems to me the last couple of years, if you're a defender and you feel that pick coming on your back, go down, because it pretty much gets called really soft in this league, and it's just smart play by the defender there. I don't necessarily think it was that bad of a pick.
So Thompson and Ilya Gaich now. Gaich is going to win this one to the far side, and the Rush down 2-0, and 15,000 strong, suddenly quite quiet. Thompson's mugged by a handful of Mammoth players. Coming up with it is going to be Gillis. Gillis goes up to the far side. That's where he connects there with Cameron Holding. Goes back to Gaich, and the offense is going to get to work, led by Keogh. Keogh to Callum Crawford on the far side. Callum back to Keogh. Back up top for Rue. Rue's got one of the goals, goes to Zach Greer. Greer with a nice little move on Kyle Rubish. Rubish forces him back outside. Wardle, back up top, Callum Crawford. Crawford trying to drive in, spins off of Jeff Cornwall. Callum Crawford, another move. Now Nick Billich trying to stop him. He takes a leaping shot, almost looked like a jump shot in basketball. Misses the net, shot clock on the Mammoth. And with 10:24 left to go in the opening quarter, it's the Rush with the ball. Robert Church takes it down low for Marty Dinsdale. Dinsdale, he's going to back up to the middle, go far side for Mark Matthews. Matthews shoulder checks off of Coates. He takes a shot, and that one's turned aside once again, Dylan Ward. Marty Dinsdale to Mark Matthews. Now working on Downing. Back up top for Jones. Jones shoots, and that one turned aside into the legs of Dylan Ward. Wasn't quite sure where it was. Thankfully, Greg Downing knew where it was, picked it up. Far side now is Adams. Adams drives towards the Rush net. Turned aside by Ryan Dilks. Back up top is Callum Crawford. He goes to Eli McLaughlin, and first through the turnover is Brett Mitski. Mitski has to step on his man, Rue. Rue coming from behind. Mitski comes in, and another great save. Dylan Ward. As Mitski, I don't know if he quite knew what to do when coming in on a breakaway there, Casey Guerin.
Yeah, the guy who doesn't get a breakaway often, but Ward comes up with the save.
So we're going to take a quick timeout. Mammoth 2, Rush nothing. You're listening to the National Lacrosse League.
Missed the action in the NLL last weekend? Maybe you want a little analysis. Mia Gordon and Tyson Geik break things down twice a week in the NLL's flagship show, The Box. Catch all of the highlights, scores, and exclusive interviews in both our pre- and post-game episodes every week on NLLTV.com.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Sports Interaction, Canada's home for worldwide sports betting. Bet responsibly at sportsinteraction.com. Disclaimer, only residents of Canada may open an account with Sports Interaction. The service is not available to users outside of Canada.
He's got Digby on the take, scores!
Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot. Hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today.
You're listening to hard-hitting Rush Lacrosse. Live on 98 Cool.
Welcome back inside the SaskTel Center. John Fraser, Casey Guerin, and Todd Joyce with you. Mammoth lead 2-0. Todd, you're between the benches. You got an update for us.
Guys, the difference between these benches right now is huge. The Mammoth are coming in. They're positive when they're coming off. I have seen 4 guys come off from the rush. They're swearing at each other. They're trying to get guys pumped up. They are not out to play right now. And Corbeil has grabbed these guys and said, we got to go. This is us. Control what you can control.
Todd Joyce between the benches giving us that update as the Rush go to work on the power play. Mark Matthews up top behind the back pass. That's where he connects with Adam Jones. Ben McIntosh, What a save. Dylan Ward comes across with a stick and absolutely robs McIntosh and sends Cupido up for a fast break. Wardle on the rebound, shoots and scores. Joey Cupido got stopped. Chris Wardle there to clean up the garbage. 3-0, another shorthanded goal. And if head coach and GM Derek Keenan had any hair left, it's gone now for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Once again, a play in the Colorado zone leads to transition. Cupido, one of the fastest guys in the league, and he comes in. Nice save by Bold, but big rebound right out to Wardle, and he makes no mistake. But big save by Dylan Ward on the other end.
So 3-0. The Mammoth lead with 9:17 left to go in the first quarter. Rush on their first power play of the evening, second in the NLL at 58%. Mammoth penalty kill actually in last place right now, 40.8%. So Rush power play goes to work. Adrian Soroketti back up top for Adam Jones. Jones hopefully trying to get his teammates sparked up. Goes back up top for Mark Matthews. This is the quietest I've heard SaskTel Center all year, Casey. Mark Matthews up top goes to Robert Church. Back to Matthews. Back door is Danny Taylor. Taylor comes in. Church all alone, shoots and scores. Who else on the power play but Bobby Church?
Well, nice to see Church getting back on track on the power play. The thing is, they haven't had a whole lot of power play opportunities. Vancouver didn't take a lot, Calgary not, if I remember. And like I said, Colorado's taken the least amount per game in the NLL. Nice play by Taylor there, a little hesitation. Finds Church wide open in the middle, and that's one guy you don't want to leave open in the middle.
3-1, Colorado leads the Saskatchewan Rush with 8:50 left to go. Mammoth start on a 3-goal run, and Saskatchewan cuts into it and brings SaskTel Center back to life. Jeremy Thompson, he wins the draw, goes back to Brett Mitski. Mitski spins off some pressure from Coates, the other face-off man for the Colorado Mammoth. Goes back to Jeff Cornwall. Cornwall connects with Matthews. Matthews was bounced outside by Hope, goes to the far side. Tries to do a swim move and will drive towards, but Hope got just enough of him to knock him off balance. Back up top for Adam Jones. Jones to Robert Church. Church down low, Curtis Knight. Knight tries to drive towards the goal. He's going to wind up, shoot, and he didn't see it, but Dylan Ward got an arm on it. Solid positioning leads to that save.
That was about a half an inch from posting in. That was a nice shot by Knight, just couldn't bury it.
8:09 left to go in the opening quarter. Colorado now on offense, working it down low. Great little moves there by Adams, and that's going to go off the crossbar over Bolt's shoulder and up and out of play as Adams got all of that from in tight.
I think defenders in the NLL are going to learn that Adams' first step, really good. You got to respect that guy. He takes it, and when he makes a decision to go, he's gone.
And he makes another, shakes off John LaFontaine up to Callum Crawford, who makes that one. Makes that shot right into the pantaloons of Aaron Bold. Coming up with it now is Adrian Soroketti. Soroketti in transition takes a shot. Big rebound picked up there by Ben McIntosh. Soroketti also coming close to scoring one, almost catching Dylan Ward by surprise. Far side now is Dan Taylor. Taylor back up top for Robert Church. Church down low for Curtis Knight. Knight, he's pressured back out. Good pick there by McIntosh. Gets it to Matthews. Matthews working on Capito. Dan Taylor low shot, bounces up and nearly mixed up Dylan Ward. But again, the Mammoths goalie leading the league in save percentage comes up with another big save. 7:10 left to go. Rouet to Callum Crawford. Colorado now going to work in Saskatchewan territory. Zach Greer comes in, shoots, his shot goes high, and will roll past Keogh. That's going to be an over and back, and Jeremy Thompson will get it in Colorado territory. Wait for the rest of his mates to change. Goes up top for Jeff Cornwall. Cornwall dishes to Jones, and the rest of the defense heads off for the rush. Jones on the far side. Downing squares off with him. Jones looking for somewhere to go. Bounces out. Jones still with the ball to Ben McIntosh. McIntosh had Dinsdale for a moment, but good defensive work there by Creighton Reed to break that up. Jones has it now. Finds Ben. What a stop!
Wow. Again.
Unbelievable. Dylan Ward comes up with one of the best saves you'll ever see as he sprawled across the crease, threw up the stick, and robbed Ben McIntosh. Rush are going to get a chance here, though. They're going to go back to the power play after a holding call, and that's saved by Dylan Ward. I thought, no way. I was ready to give it the old goal call because it looked like Benny Mack was putting it in.
Well, one of the things that makes Dylan Ward so successful is that he comes out to challenge the shooters, but when you do that, you leave quick sticks, you're a little bit vulnerable to that. But when you can move side to side as quick as Dylan Ward can, I mean, I don't think anybody else can move that fast. We've seen Christian Del Bianco, how active he is, but Dylan Ward is just at a premier, playing at really just a top level right now, so especially against the Rush.
So now it looks like we are going to see 4-on-4, as with the delayed penalty coming up to Downing for holding. The Rush's Ben McIntosh also took 2 for holding the stick. So they're going to say Rush ball, although I thought it should be Mammoth ball because the first penalty came to Colorado, second one to the Rush.
I thought so too, John.
Saying it should be 5-on-5. Yeah, 5-on-5 is our coincidental minors with 6:18 left to go in the first quarter. Colorado leads the Rush 3-1. Adam Jones goes to work to Marty Dinsdale. Dinsdale down low, Curtis Knight. He's going to try to shake and bake and go back into the middle. Knight had some room to shoot. He's knocked back on his rear end by Hope. Back up to Matthews, to Curtis Knight. Knight, he connects with Robert Church. Church, looking for somebody to get it to, finds Adam Jones. Adam Jones fakes and he's going to shoot. Shoulder save. Marty Dinsdale with the loose ball right in front. Dinsdale thought about shooting, but guess what? Dylan Ward was there. He's going to run it outside, and coming on with the lefties is Dan Taylor. Far side for Mark Matthews off that half wall where he likes to be. Comes in, shoots, and snipes! Mark Matthews, second goal of the night for Saskatchewan. It's a 1-goal lead for Colorado.
John, I had a feeling like you were going to be calling a goal from Matthews here pretty soon. I haven't seen him play like this in a few games. I think he's been nursing a couple injuries, upper body. He's been looking to dish a lot. Hasn't had that drive to the net and that big outside shot when it presents itself. So far this game, he hasn't been shy. And back to the Mark Matthews that we've come to know.
Well, if you were with us in Vancouver, you could see that he took a hard, high hit off his shoulder.
And I think it was even before that, too.
I would agree. Jeremy Thompson wins the draw, gets it in transition, got a Johnny LaFontaine, but he couldn't pull the trigger, and the ball falls out. 5:31 left to go in the first quarter. Then running down the floor is Brent Adams, the Connecticut native. Goes back to Eli McLaughlin on the far side for Colorado. They work it just outside of Rush territory. Down low is Adams. Pardon me, that's Callum Crawford. Working on Adrian Soroketti. Crawford comes in. Back to Greer. Greer's pass for Rouet's broken up, and Soroketti staples him. Adrian Soroketti with his biggest hit of the year. gives the business to Jacob Rouet, and Jeff Cornwall comes into Colorado territory. Turf must be a little slippery tonight. That's the second time we've seen a player lose their footing, but Cornwall able to get it to Curtis Knight, and the offense goes to work. There's Dan Taylor. Taylor trying to drive towards the goal, instead dishes to Curtis Knight. Knight on the near side. Dinsdale trying to one-touch pass it back to Dan Taylor. 5 left on the shot clock. Got to get something going here. Dan Taylor, spin move, one hand on the stick, wanted to go towards the goal, but was knocked down. Again, more great defensive work there by the Mammoth. 4:33 left to go first quarter. Colorado 3, Rush 2. Keogh down low for Callum Crawford. He matches up with Nick Billage. Crawford is back towards the Rush goal. Backs it back up to Zach Greer. To Eli McLaughlin. Back up top, Callum Crawford. McLaughlin passing it around the outside. Wardle comes in, spin move, shoots and scores as he head faked Jeremy Thompson and at an open lane towards Aaron Bold, and he's not going to make a mistake there. Wardle, the Victoria product, his 8th of the year.
Wardle recognized the one-on-one opportunity there. Throws a little head fake on Thompson, takes it to the net, and he wasn't going to be stopped. It's a nice play. This is a big first half for Wardle.
Wardle puts the Mammoth up 4-2 with 4:13 left to go in our first quarter.
Goal by number 17.
That one, the first goal that has not beaten Aaron Bold over one of his shoulders, going at about knee level as Wardle drove towards the goal across the crease. Thompson and Coates square off. Coates winning this one, but Thompson going over his back to pick it up. Helping him out is Kyle Rubish, who gets it back to Johnny Lafontaine. Sweeting's all over him, and Lafontaine's going to go for a run. John Lafontaine to Mark Matthews. Mark Matthews comes in. Near side, McIntosh shoots and scores. Benny Mack sidearm shot between the legs of Dylan Ward, and it's a 1-goal lead again.
Well, Matthews comes down, and it looks like he's going to take it to the net. Draws the 2 defenders out a little bit, respecting that big outside shot that he just showed a couple minutes ago. That leaves McIntosh wide open at the shooter position. He comes in, throws a little sidearm through the legs of Dylan Ward.
And not something you see out of Ben McIntosh an awful lot is that little sidearm low shot. Normally, it's either the quick stick or the big overhand.
And that's because he makes his hay at the crease. So not often do you see him at the shooter position.
Ilya Gaich now in it. He's going to win that one. Picking it up is going to be Adams. Brent Adams out of Connecticut. That good first step. Aaron Bold comes out to play him, shoulders him, but he gets the bounce pass to McLaughlin. Bold able to get back into his net after delivering the hit, much to the chagrin of the fans here at SaskTel Center. Callum Crawford. Crawford fakes a pass. He's working on Brett Mitski. Bounce back outside. Big shot, that one off the Rush logo. Rebound, scooped up by Mike Messenger. Messenger took a pretty good hack there. Then here comes Jeff Cornwall. Cornwall couldn't hold on to the pass for Messenger, but he makes it down to Colorado territory. 3:19 left. He took a shot, went high. Rebound, shoots and scores! Robert Church off the end boards and behind Dylan Ward, and it's a tie game.
You know, some of these times, these transition guys, if the first opportunity isn't there, all I keep thinking is pull it out, pull it out. Get your offense on the floor, don't give it back. This time, Cornwall creates another opportunity, and he gets it to Church, and what a shot that was. I mean, right over the shoulder, you can't place the ball any better, over the right shoulder at Dylan Ward.
Church with his second of the game, and the presence of mind there, too, to kind of head fake, as Dylan Ward had gotten back up, got him to dip that right shoulder, and he puts it over. 3:15 left to go, and we're tied for the first time since the 12-minute mark. We're going to take a timeout here at SaskTel Center. Mammoth 4, Rush 4. This is the National Lacrosse League.
got Digby on the take, scores!
Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot. Hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today.
Welcome back inside the SaskTel Center. John Fraser, Casey Guerin upstairs, and Todd Joyce downstairs. Rush bench still a little fired up, aren't they?
They've got something going on. There's a chink in the Brotherhood armor here. So Dan Taylor's been here. He's been pushing guys around, telling them to get their head back into the game. Jeremy Thompson is a little bit shy away from the guys. So he's trying to get in, but there's something there. I don't know what it is. Before the game, coaches were on him a little bit, so I don't know what's going on there, but there's something that we should watch out for.
Thanks a lot. Todd Joyce, our man between the benches. Back upstairs we go, 3:11 left to go, first quarter. Mammoth 4, Rush 4. Zach Greer back up top for Stephen Keogh. Keogh's going to drive in on Chris Corbeil. Eli McLaughlin back down low. That's where he connects there with Wardle. Wardle's already got a beauty goal, and that time Thompson showing some great aggressiveness and forcing the turnover there. Looks like whatever they said to him woke him up, Garrett.
It looks that way.
Chris Corbeil with it, or as I called him apparently, Jeff Corbeil.
That always makes you feel good as a coach. You get on someone and all of a sudden, they turn it around.
Dan Taylor with it for the Rush in Colorado territory. 2:38 left to go, tied at 4. Ben McIntosh back over across to Danny Taylor. He goes down low for Mark Matthews. Matthews trying to drive, looking for that shot. Can't find it. Did find Robert Church, but Ilya Gaich breaks up the pass and gets it over to Cameron Holding. Dan Coates with it now. Coates takes it up over half to Callum Crawford. Crawford coming on, back down low. That's where he finds Brent Adams. Adams one-on-one with Cornwall. Adams now with it up top, goes down low for Eli McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to spin in over far side, Callum Crawford. Crawford is going to drive towards. Nick Billich is going to try to force him out, does so successfully. He's looking for that jump shot again. Callum Crawford looks like Super Mario right now, Case. He's just boing, boing, boing.
Oh, he's a top offensive player, and the Rush have done well on him so far tonight.
Jeff Cornwall with it for the Rush. Back up top, Ben McIntosh. 1:45 left to go in the opening quarter. Rush 4, Mammoth 4. Mark Matthews, far side is Adam Jones. Jones on Capito. Spins off of him, shoots, and that one turned aside with the stick of Dylan Ward. Good job by Curtis Knight to get the loose ball there and get a reset. 90 seconds left, still tied at 4. Mark Matthews on the far side finds his man in the middle. That was Jones. And then McIntosh picks it up. Couple of shots and a couple more great saves by Dylan Ward. The Rush out shooting the Mammoth 18-9. Ward with 14 stops.
Yeah, it's quality over quantity though. 3 times on that shift, the Rush went 5-hole. And we talked about it the last home game. They've just, since their shooting percentage hasn't been that great the last few games, they seem to be going 5-hole quite a bit. And I know that's Jones's go-to, but they got to start picking some corners.
Well, we talked to Jones. He said if he went 5-hole again in Vancouver, Keenan was going to probably murder him. Big save there by Aaron Bold. As the Mammoth possession goes nowhere, Kyle Rubish is going to take it up over half with under a minute left to go. Still tied 4-4. Adam Jones with it here in the Dodge City Auto opening quarter. Far side for Dan Taylor, has an assist so far. Marty Dinsdale down low for Curtis Knight. Knight, he's going to come in, shoot, and he had some room over the shoulder of Dylan Ward, but he just missed off the end boards into the crowd, and Colorado takes over. Dan Coates, they're going to leave Dylan Ward in here as he gives it to Callum Crawford. Stephen Keogh is bounced by Nick Billich. Great play by Keogh to not commit the over and back. Crawford now has some space. Crawford back to Greer. Greer comes in, bounce shot, just misses on the short side. Nick Billich picks it up. Billich is hit real good from behind, and that's some good pressure there. Eli McLaughlin, but Billich picks it up. Billich now, man alone in front, shoots and scores! Brett Minsky left completely untouched in front and converts. We gave him a hard time for being bad on offense before. Well, geez, Brett, proved us wrong.
Well, if you told me he was going to get a goal tonight and he had a breakaway, I would say that's going to have to be the way he scores. But Minsky gets a chance on the doorstep, and that started with Billich getting knocked down, but making a nice play, kicking the ball ahead to himself to keep that ball, get it over half, and create that opportunity for Minsky.
Nick Billich is having a really good season, Casey.
He is.
If I had to vote for a most improved player on the Rush, I think Nick Billich gets my vote.
He's a guy, I don't know exactly how many games he was in last year, but he was drawing in and out of the lineup. He wasn't a staple on this defense, and he's really having a great season. You're right, John.
So Rush lead 5-4 over Colorado. First quarter is going to wind down Or are the Rush going to take a timeout here? Waiting to see. There seems to be a little confusion. 1.6 seconds are on the clock. Buzzer's going to go to mark the end of the quarter. And we're going to see that's what it is. After one quarter, Rush 5, Mammoth 4. This is the National Lacrosse League.
Pro lacrosse teams are now fielded in Philadelphia, Boston, New York, Maryland, Montreal, and Quebec.
Yesterday there was friendly competition and not so friendly competition. We knew our true colors weren't just worn on our backs, they were painted on our faces and hoisted as high in the air as we could possibly carry them. Whatever it took to claim our turf. Yesterday we left it all out there. Blood, sweat, tears, you name it, we left it. We kept ourselves focused and we kept each other in check, and the only thing we took were epic shots. Yesterday we saw more twists and turns in 8 seconds than most people saw in an entire season. We lost the ball, lost our minds, we lost count countless times in every game. If you could see the ball, that was a slow day. Yesterday physics didn't apply to us. Gravity wasn't welcome in our box. Armed with just a stick and a ball, we took flight. Yesterday we were the best we could be. Today is our day.
Back to the voice of the Rush, John Fraser.
Thank you, big voice guy. After one quarter, Saskatchewan 5, Colorado 4. Saskatchewan 1 for 1 on the power play, 6 for 10 on the faceoff dot, and that's another one won by Jeremy Thompson. All the way back into his own corner. Casey, as you pointed out at the break, last time these two teams played here, we had 15 goals for the whole game. We had 9 in the opening quarter.
Well, it just shows how unpredictable the NLL can be.
Callum Crawford with it for a moment for the Colorado Mammoth. That ball rolls down towards Aaron Bold, who goes to shoot it away, gets caught in his net, and goes directly out of play.
Whiff.
That looks like me trying to shoot out there. It's been a while.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. Stephen Keogh has the fortunate bounce for the Mammoth, and he takes a big shot looking for the top corner. It bounces back to Zach Greer. 14:23 left to go in our Motion Fitness second quarter. Bold with the save now to Brett Midsky, who has the go-ahead goal right now for the Rush. Believe it or not. Mark Matthews now, Rush offense going to work in Colorado territory. Matthews backs it up. Joey Capito out to face him. Church goes far side to McIntosh. McIntosh goes back to Matthews. Matthews fakes. He's going to come in. They picked him up. Back to Robert Church. Church looking for some space in the middle. Instead finds McIntosh and Dylan Ward. As soon as he saw the pass go to McIntosh, was already waiting for the quick stick. 13:48 left to go. Saskatchewan 5, Colorado 4. The Mammoth going back to work on offense. Chris Wardle up over half. You have to apologize. I should apologize in advance too, Casey. There's a real good chance I'm losing my voice tonight. I've been battling the cold all week. Far side McLaughlin, his shot goes high off the end boards. Chris Corbeil picks it up and gets it to John LaFontaine. LaFontaine up over half. LaFontaine finds Messenger, goes in, diving, and a great save again by Dylan Ward. He's coming as advertised tonight, Casey. I love watching that guy play goal.
Well, he is, and especially for having 5 goals against in the first quarter, he really did play well. I mean, that's not really shows how well he's actually playing.
Well, shots on goal right now, 23-11 in favor of the Rush.
And the ones that did go in were labeled.
Stephen Keogh takes a shot, partially blocked, way up in the air like a pop fly, and Ryan Dilks fields it in his own crease. Gets it to Brett Midsky under 13 minutes left to go, second quarter. Rush lead by 1. Midsky back to Matthews. Matthews driving in on the change. Matthews, a big shot there. Hot one, handled off the logo of Dylan Ward. It was loose for a moment. And now Matthews is getting into it with a couple Mammoth players behind the play. No call as Matthews took a stick to the teeth.
Well, we said earlier Matthews could have got away with a penalty early on in the game. Well, it might have just got evened up right there.
Karma just canceled out. Eli McLaughlin over to the far side. He connects with Wardle. Back for Adams now near the benches. Callum Crawford. He's going to go one-on-one with Jeff Cornwall. Crawford finds his man in the middle. Great save there. Jacob Arue was alone for a moment, got his helmet knocked off, and we are going to see a penalty. Not a bad penalty to take here, though, as he was unopposed in front of Aaron Bold, who's still going to make a pretty good save.
Yeah, and it wasn't an intentional high stick there, but Messenger's a big man, and coming in for the check. Rue's right in front on the top of the crease, who actually still got a pretty good chance off there, but we're about to see the Mammoth power play.
For the first time tonight, Colorado's power play goes to work as Mike Messenger has a conversation with a Rush fan who's won the right to sit in the penalty box for the second quarter.
I got to tell you, I love that promotion. I think that's pretty neat.
I think we should find a way to get Todd Joyce down in the penalty box.
I think you're right.
Make it happen. So Colorado goes to work on the power play, third in the league at 57.1%. Not a surprise. They got some choices down there. Zach Greer with it. Callum Crawford fakes the shot back to Greer. Penalty kills brought to you by Speedy Collision. Stephen Keogh's shot, that one off of the back of the helmet of Chris Corbeil. He gets a nice little ovation, and somebody made a nice one-handed snag in the crowd. Some more ovation. 11:53 left to go, second quarter. Rush 5, Mammoth 4, but Colorado on the power play for another 94 seconds. McLaughlin has it down low. Back to Zach Greer. Callum Crawford, the big righty, going back to Jacob Rue. Rue can't hold on. And the Cornwall, Ontario native turns it over. Ryan Dilks now in transition. Dilks into the offensive territory to Brett Midsky. Midsky's got a goal tonight. Back up top for Ryan Dilks. Not the offensive guys you normally see out there, so Dilks will dish for Adam Jones down low, short-handed. 1:09 left to go in the penalty to Mike Messenger, the high stick. Robert Church over to the far side. He's going to match up with Coates. Short-handed, he comes in, takes a shot, and that one was labeled for the top of the net, but getting his left arm up was the goaltender, Ward.
Yeah, I'm not sure Ward even saw that one. Just kind of hit him.
Another good position save there as Callum Crawford picks it up. 48 seconds left to go in the power play. 11 minutes left to go, second quarter. Rush 5, Mammoth 4. Keogh back up top to Crawford. Far side is Greer. Greer has it again. Back to Crawford, playing catch with Greer up top. There's a shot. That one goes off the post and in. Zach Greer against his former team. And it's 5-5, back to even. Mammoth 1 for 1 in the power play tonight.
Well, nice shot there by Zach Greer, who, as I mentioned, is first in the Rush organization in goals at 184. To put it in perspective, Mark Matthews sits second at 162. He's just been such an important part of this organization for so long. And, of course, that big trade bringing Adam Jones here this summer. But he's, and you know what, John? We talk about so often about how good Rush Nation is and the attendance and all that good stuff. And 99% of them have had a good reaction to Greer tonight. That other 1% who's booing him, it's a little disappointing because that's just ignorance. It wasn't Zach Greer's choice to leave here, and he's done so much for this team. It's just unfortunate.
Jacob Rue alone in front. Big left-hand save by Aaron Bold. Brings the noise back to Sastel Center. 5-5, Rush and Mammoth at 10:24 left to go. You're right. I want to go find those people that were booing Greer and smack them with my shoe. Moving around, Mark Matthews to Marty Dinsdale. So it turns out one of those people is actually right beside us, and I'm not actually going to hit him with my shoe. Mark Matthews has it now. Near side, drives towards the middle. Matthews, far side. Marty Dinsdale had Curtis Knight alone in front for a moment, but picking him up very smartly was Peterborough's Bryce Sweeting. Adam Jones takes a low shot. I thought maybe that got Ward off the shin pad. Doesn't matter. Ilya Gaich is going to pick it up, and we'll take a timeout. 9:55 left to go, second quarter. Rush and Mammoth tied at 5. This is the National Lacrosse League.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Sports Interaction, Canada's home for worldwide sports betting. Bet responsibly at sportsinteraction.com. Disclaimer, only residents of Canada may open an account with Sports Interaction. The service is not available to users outside of Canada.
Welcome back inside the SaskTel Center. First time out of the second quarter. Rush 5, Mammoth 5. Is before we went to break, we're talking about the reaction of most fans here towards Zach Greer. Been mostly positive. And then there's been some booing. And then it was suggested that maybe I go full Mike Milbury on somebody and hit somebody with a shoe. But again, that guy's an earshot from us, and he looks like to be bigger than me, Casey. So we'll leave it.
I think we have a lock on our door. So
I think I forgot to lock it, though. Callum Crawford for Colorado back over to the far side. That's where he connects with his man, Eli McLaughlin. McLaughlin working on Kyle Rubush and John LaFontaine. Stephen Keogh's up top. McLaughlin, he's looking to connect with Keogh. He winds up, takes a bounce shot, but it bounces too high, too sharp, and into the crowd. And Aaron Bolt starts it up. 9:28 left to go, second quarter, 5-5. Rubush with it, up top for Ben McIntosh. McIntosh didn't see Dan Coates there in his rearview mirror. Smartly turn around and goes far side for Robert Church. Rush on offense, and it's Mark Matthews near his own bench. Matthews comes in, and I believe Dylan Ward just got the thumb of his glove on that one, and it goes out of play, so the Rush get a reset.
Yeah, a bit of a bad break, I think, for Colorado, because I think that one was actually going to go wide.
Robert Church back to Matthews. Matthews down low for Dan Taylor. Dan Taylor out of Calgary. Back to Adam Jones. Jones comes in, and he's stripped there. That's a real nice job there by Hope, knocking the stick out of his hands. Peterborough's Robert Hope, but it is the Rush picking up the loose ball. Not getting a reset, though. Ben McIntosh, that's a great double team by Ilya Gaich and Cameron Holding on the far side. Looking to connect back with McIntosh. He was driving towards the goal, but again, intercepted. That Mammoth D has really turned it on here in the second quarter.
You know what I was just thinking? It's a really good team defense. They really get a good sense of when to hop on the double.
Adams now with it for Colorado. Goes back to the far side. That's where he connects with Eli McLaughlin. Adams now with it again. As you said, he just looks like a mouse out there, just darting around. He's so quick. That shot towards the goal. Couldn't connect with Rouet. Nearly goes off of Rouet, but it's turned aside by Aaron Bolt. 8:14 left to go. Still tied 5-5. Sora Ketty takes it down into Colorado territory. Does the old hidden ball trick. Fools one defender, but not two. Goes back far side for Marty Dinsdale as Sora Ketty subs off for Robert Church. Mark Matthews instantly picked up by Greg Downing. That was quick. Marty Dinsdale to Robert Church, and call on the Rush, and Colorado's going to take over. Airmailing it there for Gillis. Gillis has some time, but coming off the bench was Brett Midsky. Great job there by Midsky to get back as Gillis was basically alone in front. Midsky now takes it all the way down the length of the floor, and Adam Jones has it for Saskatchewan. Back up top to Midsky. Marty Dinsdale was alone in front for a moment. Picked up there by Stewart of the Mammoth. Curtis Knight back over to Marty Dinsdale. Dinsdale will match up with Dan Coates. He comes and shoots and picks the corner. Marty Dinsdale, 6-5 Rush.
Well, last game that we were here against Calgary, he had a really nice shot from outside. Now it's a little bit taken back because Dinsdale's one of those guys, kind of like McIntosh. You know, you see him working on the crease and down low quite a bit. But man, when he gets some time and space from that shooter position, that straight over the top corner where these guys really should be shooting, instead of going high to low, that high to high, picking a corner up top, beats Ward.
Marty Dinsdale from Coquitlam, BC is 8th of the year. Most patient man on this team. He stayed on that practice roster for a couple of years, and now he's drawn into the lineup every single night. It's looked pretty good every single night. Creighton Reed, Dan Coates, as there's a loose ball battle right by the penalty boxes across from us here at the SaskTel Center. Thompson and Bilic in there. Thompson's going to come up with it, and he's going to get absolutely rocked there. That ball Bounces loose. Thompson gets it to Cornwall, who goes to Soroketti for a moment. Back to Cornwall. Cornwall has a man in front. It's LaFontaine. Johnny LaFontaine puts it behind Dylan Ward. 7-5 for the Rush. I couldn't help it.
Man, all I can picture is Buffalo Sabres, 1990s. But you know what? That was good. That was a good transition there. Cornwall pulls up a little bit, doesn't use his speed, which he always does, but he did the right thing. He pulls up a bit, throws a fake, draws the defenders out, and finds LaFontaine. And I'll tell you, this Rush defense has not seen so much offensive floor in I don't know how long. I was just thinking that about Minsky because he's seen some floor up there. But, you know, it's just the way the game's playing out.
Do you know how long I've been waiting to do that, Casey? 2 full seasons. Greg Downing with it now, picks it up in Rush territory, and Colorado goes back to work with 6:38 left to go. Adrian Soroketti and Cornwall with the assists on LaFontaine's first of the year. 6:35 left to go in the Motion Fitness second quarter. Rush 7, Mammoth 5. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be this fine Saturday evening. Robert Church has it now to Ben McIntosh. First 2-goal lead for the Rush of the entire game. Back up top is Dan Taylor. Down low was Adam Jones. Jones goes back to Robert Church. Church to Adam Jones. We had a whistle for a moment, but looks like that might have come from a fan. And Robert Church gets it back to Matthews, trying to pick a corner and goes just a little too high. It was open, but not there. So 6:06 left to go, second quarter. And here comes Colorado. Leading it down the floor is Hope. Goes to Callum Crawford. Back down low for Keogh. 11 goals, 12 assists acquired from the Nighthawks on February 16th. Keogh far side for Zach Greer. Offseason trade with the Rush brought him there. Pass broken up and intercepted by Adrian Soroketti. Soroketti now will run it down. He's got some help. Soroketti shoots, and that one turned aside with a right shoulder of Dylan Ward. LaFontaine was open again because I wanted to do it again. Far side is Ilya Gaich. Burnaby product, 8th year to Denver. Gets it to Callum Crawford. Crawford one-on-one with Mike Messenger in Rush territory. Wardle. He'll cross into the Rush zone. He's going to fake the pass back to Crawford. Crawford. He's going to wind up looking for the top corner. He's going to just miss, and we're going to have an over and back. Actually, that's going to be a souvenir into the penalty box. And for the lucky Rush fan still sitting there, he now gets to sit in the penalty box and take home a ball. Good night for him. Marty Dinsdale has it. 5:12 left to go in the second quarter. Down low is Curtis Knight. Knight back into the middle, finds Dan Taylor off the bench. Mark Matthews comes in, shoots. Marty Dinsdale hits the post. Dinsdale had room over the left shoulder of Dylan Ward, but hits the crossbar up into the crowd. Rush get the reset. Knight to Matthews. Down low is Adam Jones. Jones to Mark Matthews. I think Matthews was surprised to get that. He only had one hand on his stick. Still got a shot away, but misses the goal.
Yeah, I think he got a little tied up there on his way to the net.
4:44 left to go in the opening half. 7-5, the Rush lead over Colorado. Mammoth going to work. Down low is Callum Crawford. 4th in NLL scoring, 58 points. He's going to connect there with Roué. Comes in tight, turn aside. Bold. Greer on the rebound. Shoots, and another great save by Aaron Bold. Chris Corbeil picks up the rebound. Back-to-back great saves by Bold, and here comes John LaFontaine. LaFontaine with his first goal of the season tonight. Back up top for Ben McIntosh. 4:13 left to go now as McIntosh drives towards the goal, shoots and scores! Ben McIntosh, 8-5 Rush lead.
Well, they're shooting. I mean, it's the first half of the first few games of the season. You know, they led the league in shooting percentage by a pretty wide margin. Then, like we talked about, the last 3 games or so, they've really made opposition goalies look good, and that started with Colorado here, but geez, they've really come back and started shooting the ball well tonight, John.
4:09 left to go. Rush 8, Mammoth 5. The Rush now on a nice little run here. But Cameron Holding with it for the Mammoth. Tries to connect with Joey Capito on the near side. Can't, but does pick up the ball off the boards. Nice hustle play there. Cameron Holding. That's the kind of stuff that coaches love. Stephen Keogh comes in. Keogh's bounced outside by the Rush defense. Makes a couple of moves. Goes to Callum Crawford. Crawford back up top for Keogh. Keogh gets it down low for Roué. Roué to the far side. He connects back with Callum Crawford. Pass back. Crawford comes in. He shoots looking for the bottom left of the net. And he's going to miss with 3:34 left to go. We'll take a timeout. Rush lead the Mammoth by 3. This is Rush Lacrosse.
You're listening to hard-hitting Rush Lacrosse. Live on 98 Cool.
John Fraser, Casey Guerin upstairs. Rush lead the Mammoth 8-5, but downstairs and not exactly well liked right now is our man Todd Joyce. Todd, what did you do to Pat Coyle?
I don't know. Typically this is my favorite quarter because I got both goalies, both backup goalies I can chat to, but Pat Coyle's got a problem with me being here. He's telling me to leave. Just look around, look the other way, don't even talk to me, don't even look this way. And it's awesome because Quinlan, on the other hand, is giving it to him after every one of these Rush goals where they've been in the lead.
Todd Joyce, fun between the benches. Back to action on the floor. Rush lead 8-5, 3:20 left to go. Big shot, Robert Church turned aside. Left foot of Dylan Ward. Curtis Knight on this rebound, and somehow Ward keeps that out. He's down, he's spinning. It's in his leg somewhere. And Colorado picks it up. 3:11 left to go. Remember, Casey, 8-7. It's 8-5. Tonight, a little bit more offense than the last time these two teams met up.
Well, it is, and a lot of it for me is Colorado played such a clean game last time. Kept the shots from the outside, but mainly didn't give up transition. They were so clean last game.
And that a little mistake in transition as Rubish airmails it over Thompson. So Colorado gets it right back. Over on the far side is Taylor Stewart out of Coquitlam to Eli McLaughlin. McLaughlin leads the Mammoth offense onto the floor. He blows past John LaFontaine and shoots and scores. Eli McLaughlin, great play, drives towards the net, goes into the air just a bit, puts it behind Aaron Bold, and with 2:37 left to go, Rush lead cut to 2.
Well, McLaughlin had a really good opportunity there, sees the isolation. There's nobody else on that side of the floor other than him and his defender, LaFontaine. Recognizes that, gets the first step to the outside, brings it to the middle, and nice finish by McLaughlin. He really is turning into a really good player.
Saskatchewan had scored 6 of the previous 7 goals until that moment there. I mean, they've still got 6 of the past 8. It's not so bad. 2:33 left to go. Colorado looking to go on a run of their own. Pass for Rouet, broken up by Nick Bilic, and then that stick goes flying, but Cornwall, Johnny on the spot to pick it up. He's going to run it down. Gets it to Brett Mitski, who's got a goal tonight, to Jeremy Thompson. Thompson can't hold on to the pass, and it's going to be picked up by Taylor Stewart. Stewart goes up, connects there with Ilya Gaich. Gaich goes to Jacob Rouet, takes a shot, looking 5-hole, bounces up into the neck protector of Aaron Bold, and he gets it to Adrian Soroketti. 2:04 left to go. Soroketti to Matthews. Matthews fakes the shot, back to Soroketti, tries to slam dunk it, and just misses the post beside the left foot of Dylan Ward.
You know, for me, on back-to-back possessions there, the Mammoth come down and take a really quick, ill-advised shot from the outside with like 25 seconds left on the clock. Rush come right down and do the same thing.
So picking it up now is Rubish. He's going to pick up the loose ball. Crawford and McLaughlin there all over him. Now LaFontaine grabs it. He's going to dish it all the way up to Chris Corbeil, and with 1:39 left to go, Rush 8, Mammoth 6. Corbeil's going to walk it in. Back to Jones. Jones shoots in that one. Another right arm save there by Dylan Ward. Jones on his own loose ball. Mike Messenger stuck out there in the transition team, but doesn't look out of place at all. Ben McIntosh. He'll march it across the floor. Keogh's out there playing a little D. He's picked by Marty Dinsdale. Back up top is McIntosh. Spins off of Keogh, who laid a pretty good hit there on Benny McIntosh. In the middle, Dinsdale, a great right toe save by Dylan Ward. Stewart and McIntosh battling for it in the far corner. Downing in there as the Rush had switched to their defense, and we're down to 1 minute left in the first half. Stewart makes a head fake on Nick Bilic and then dishes down the floor. Gets it on the far side. That's where he gets Brent Adams. Back up top for Callum Crawford. Crawford drives in. In front is Adams, and he scores. Adams snuck behind his man. Callum Crawford found him. And Adams putting it in, and it's back-to-back goals for the Mammoth. Rush 8, Colorado 7.
Well, that looked like a little bit of miscommunication by Thompson and Cornwall there. I mean, that just shouldn't happen. That's just it wasn't even a pick and roll. He just slipped to the middle of the floor and finds himself wide open at the top. And Callum Crawford, one of the elite passers in the league, he finds him no problem, and Adams puts it behind Bold. That's a mistake.
Crawford, 38 assists, one of the top in the league. He's just behind Mark Matthews, who leads the NLL with 41. Matthews third in scoring with 60 points. We have a challenge flag out on the Rush bench, so we're going to go to a video review here as Callum Crawford, as we get a second look at it in the building. We'll You're right. Just looks like miscommunication. Thompson got stuck between going out to Crawford to double, and right behind him is where Adams was able to sneak in. So, as we always do on reviews, Todd Joy's downstairs, goal or no goal?
I'm going to have no goal only because it went about off post, off the back Aaron Bold's legs when the guy came into the crease. Impact, no impact, but it's going to be no goal.
All right, Todd says no goal as it took a couple minutes to get in, as we do see the right foot of Adams does touch the white paint after he shot, but we don't know if the ball is in. Casey Guerin, what do you think? I know I'm going last because I'm waiting for the best angle on this one. Casey, what do you think?
I'm going to say good goal.
Casey says good goal, and I will also wait for it. I'm going to say no goal.
Oh, you're right.
That's only because I waited
right.
so long. You can see on the to walk you through it here for our radio audience. Adam shoots. It goes off of Aaron Bold, pops up into the air. He touches the white paint, and then the ball goes in.
I didn't think it took that long for the ball to actually cross.
Well, I sure dragged it out so I could be right on this one. So Todd and I are right. Casey is wrong. Goal is waved off. Rush lead. Reset back to 2. And Casey owes us both a Coke. Right, Todd?
I'll take it.
Casey, you look so mad that you owe us a Coke.
I was just watching the replay again. It looked like leg pad, post, then pants, then in. So it got hung up for quite a bit there that couldn't really see from up here and live, but the replay clearly shows.
You mean right pad, pantaloons?
That's right.
And
you got her.
Surprised you didn't say it. Adam Jones back to Curtis Knight as Aaron Bold had come out for the quick attack here with just over 30 seconds left to go. Knight looking for the 2-1. Dylan Ward gets his own rebound and scoops it up. And again, Mark Matthews getting into it with Robert Hope. This is a few times that Hope has been getting into Matthews' cage so far on this evening. And Colorado, with under 30 seconds left to go, no surprise, they're going to go ahead and call timeout.
Yeah, and these two teams, it really looks to me like they're going to be battling it out to the end of the season here. First place in the West, or in the division, is so important. And, the next two, they have 2 more games, both in Denver, and I really see these two teams fighting it out to the end. Casey
Guerin, I'm going to give you one name who leads the Rush in scoring so far in the first half, and you have to guess the other. Mark Matthews has 3 points. Take a guess at the other one. It'll surprise you.
Well, it's probably a defender then, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it Minsky?
John LaFontaine, a goal and 2 assists.
Sure.
Leading the way, no surprise, Chris Wardle already has a hat trick.
Yeah, and that was a huge first quarter for Wardle.
Oh, he was unbelievable. Callum Crawford with 3 assists to add to his total.
Callum Crawford last week against Calgary was their biggest output of the year offensively with 18 goals. 6 of them came from Callum Crawford.
Yeah. All the socks on the socks trick were just cleaned and donated later this week. There's a great picture on the Mammoth's Twitter account of him with this bag of socks that is being donated in the Denver area. So 23.9 seconds left to go in our Motion Fitness second quarter. Colorado pulls Dylan Ward and the aforementioned Mr. Crawford with it. Crawford marches it over half. He's just going to kill some time here, wait for the one play. 6-on-5. Crawford standing right by his bench just outside of the Rush restraining line. He goes to Stephen Keogh, and they're going to run the play. Keogh back to Zach Greer. Alone in front was Rue, and a quick shot there by Crawford. Another one. Aaron Bold with a couple of saves, and the ball is loose. Aaron Bold, and coming up with a save with his rear end was Rubish, and it keeps it out. We'll go to half. The Rush 8, Mammoth 6. This is Rush Lacrosse.
Pro lacrosse teams are now fielded in Philadelphia, Boston, New York, Maryland, Montreal, and Quebec.
Yesterday there was friendly competition and not so friendly competition. We knew our true colors weren't just worn on our backs, they were painted on our faces and hoisted as high in the air as we could possibly carry them. Whatever it took to claim our turf. Yesterday, we left it all out there. Blood, sweat, tears. You name it, we left it. We kept ourselves focused and we kept each other in check. And the only thing we took were epic shots. Yesterday, we saw more twists and turns in 8 seconds than most people saw in an entire season. We lost the ball, lost our minds. We lost countless times in every game. If you could see the ball, that was a slow day. Yesterday, physics didn't apply to us. Gravity wasn't welcome in our box. Armed with just a stick and a ball, we took flight. Yesterday, we were the best we could be. Today is our day.
Welcome, lacrosse fans. Tyson Geik of NLL Productions here with you right now, and I'm joined by Shay Hewen, CEO and founder of the U-Hawk Camera. We have some exciting news for you today. The NLL has officially partnered with the U-Hawk Camera, the new official action camera of the National Lacrosse League. Shay, an exciting moment, for both parties here.
Yeah, it's an incredible day. It's a big step and a big moment in the history of sports, and for the National Lacrosse League to be the first league to step up and bring actual player point of view, video footage to fans at home in the actual real raw competition in the season. It's a monumental day, and we're very excited to be the official camera provider to be a part of that.
It's not often that you see two 40-goal scorers swap for one another in the National Lacrosse League, but when a deal happens like the one that sent Zach Greer to the Colorado Mammoth in exchange for Adam Jones, it certainly gets people talking. The change of scenery may have come as a surprise to Greer, who moves from one thriving box lacrosse market to the next, but the multidimensional forward appears to be embracing life and lacrosse in the Mile High City.
Greer, pump fake, shoot, score, top corner. Greer shoots and scores. Now we're getting the run here for the Mammoth. Zach Greer one-on-one with Frankie Shoyano. Greer shoots and scores.
It's been awesome. It's been great. I was welcomed with open arms in the off-season there, and a little bit of a transition, obviously, just getting used to the new environment, new players, chemistry, coaching staff, all that good stuff. But it's always going to be a work in progress, and we're trying to peak at the right time here. But at the same time, it's going pretty well so far.
That transition to playing with the Colorado Mammoth seemed effortless for Greer. In his debut with the team during face-off weekend, he recorded a hat trick and added another 3 assists in a win over the Buffalo Bandits. While the Mammoth have been pleased with Greer's offensive production during the first half of the 2017 NLL season, they feel the impact that he has had with his team stretches beyond the score sheet and will be felt amongst teammates for years to come.
Zach Greer is the guy that you want to be able to point to and say, I want you to be more like him. Especially for younger guys coming into this league and on this team, he sets a great example. He works hard, he does the right thing, and you know that you're going to rely on him. If he doesn't score 2 or 3 or 4 goals, then you know he's doing a lot of different things to help the team win that fans might not see, but coaching staff, teammates, executive staff, everybody sees that.
Obviously, it's tough losing a talent like Adam Jones. Not only is he a phenomenal, one-of-a-kind, just gifted athlete, lacrosse player, he's an incredible guy, incredible teammate. And but you have a guy like Greersy comes in, and not saying anything against Jonesy, but they're just two different players, you know what I mean? Zach Greer he comes in here and you could just tell he's the first practice, he's the hardest working player on the floor, you know what I mean? With a guy that has the accolades that he does, it's not that he's just taking it for granted. He come out there, he wants to build a name here, and he wants to make the team better. He'll do anything that's going to make the team better, and it's an honor to play with somebody like that.
John Grant Jr., an 18-year NLL vet, maybe 12 years older than Greer, but even he didn't hesitate to admit that Greer has served him as a teacher of sorts.
To learn from a guy who's younger, sometimes you get older, you think you know everything, but he's been awesome to help me out, even the young guys, and and he's putting the ball in the net, and he's playing extremely well. He never stops working. I mean, a tremendous leader. The guy's won at every level, the guy's won, and he's literally like another coach out there, but he can still score goals, and he sets picks. He does just everything.
A product of both the Whitby Warriors and Duke Lacrosse systems, there's no doubt that Greer knows what it takes to win. He's won back-to-back Champions Cups with the Rush organization. So when you ask him if he feels like the Mammoth have the instruments to win a championship, well, you've got to listen.
we've got a lot of different pieces that it takes to win. And obviously, like I said, peaking at the right time is part of it. But we've got a great system in place. We've got goaltending, a great defense back there, which is obviously important when it comes to playoff time, even more so than the regular season. And that's going to be something that helps us get it done. And obviously, offense is still working hard to kind of figure out our way and figure out our chemistry a little bit. But it's early, and we're just trying to get better every time out.
For NLL Productions, I'm Tyson Geik.
More than just a game and means more than winning. When you can feel hard hits and smooth moves, when you watch sparks fly and wheels turn, you know it's more than just a game. You better brace yourself for the loudest house in lacrosse.
Yes, Mia, now time for my box bosses, and for the second consecutive week, it was actually not too difficult for me. I was able to really select just 3 players that stepped up and had massive performances for their teams, put the teams on their back, came up huge in week 10. And at number 3, I'm gonna start with Dangerous Dan Dawson of the Rochester Nighthawks. The 35-year-old played games in back-to-back nights, actually a night and an afternoon. 3 goals and 4 assists in the first game. Then he's got the game-winning goal and added another 4 assists in the second game. Going on 36 years of age, still putting up big numbers and coming up with timely goals for the Rochester Nighthawks. He's a big part of this team, very well respected around the league, and actually second in terms of active leading scorers across the league. At number 2, I've got big game Dane Doby. 1 shorthanded goal, 1 power play goal, 1 highlight reel tally, 7 goals total, 4 assists in that win over the Georgia Swarm. Doby's been hitting all sorts of milestones this season and has been putting together some seriously awesome performances, but I don't think there have been any better than this one that was put on display on Saturday night in Calgary. This guy was an absolute stud. And at number 1, I've got Callum Crawford, who had the sock trick against the Calgary Roughnecks. Callum is my pick for the number 1 box boss because of what he's been able to do without some of the Mammoth's best in the lineup. He's picked up the slack with those big names out. There's only been 1 time that this season that he's had less than 5 points in a game, and on Friday night, he put up a season-high 9 points against the Calgary Roughnecks.
For the 5th year in a row, the National Lacrosse League has partnered with Right to Play to bring lacrosse programs to Aboriginal youth across Canada. We had a chance to speak with New England Black Wolves' Sean Evans at one of these programs to find out what it means to him to bring the sport he loves to these various communities. This marks Sean Evans' 4th year taking part in Right to Play, a global organization that uses the power of play to educate and empower children facing adversity.
It's something special, you know, what they do, and you know, the dedication that you know, they provide to these communities, and have athletes like myself coming and teach and see the looks on the kids' faces is unbelievable.
On this given day, the New England Black Wolf Star, along with other members of the NLL community, were teaching kids the basic skills of lacrosse, but skills he believes will help them not just when it comes to improving their game on the floor.
It's something rewarding to me and rewarding to, I know, a couple other guys here that are here this week, to see at the end of the week them enjoy the game of lacrosse and them actually take a little bit from what we talk about and what we say and actually use it to their benefit of life skills or skills that are on the floor and skills that are off the floor.
The program has been created in hopes of empowering children and youth to develop lacrosse skills, but also life skills such as leadership and sportsmanship.
What these kids learn at the end of the week and stays with them to build them as better people growing up and to continue to build their communities into a community that works together.
Since the NLL and Right to Play partnered in 2012, the program has reached over 1,600 First Nation children and youth, with over 19 players from the NLL participating. And according to Evans, this is an incredible feeling to get back to the community in this way.
At the very beginning, when you start the week off, it's, I don't know how to play, I don't know how to do this. And you know what, just after about 40-45 minutes of learning the skills of, trapping, scooping, passing, and catching, they're amazed of what they can do with the stick, with the ball. And, the stick skills just develop. And, to see that reaction coming from their face, the smiling, the having fun, that's a huge part of coming out and doing this in the communities is seeing them having fun and enjoying themselves.
For NLL Productions, I'm Mia Gordon.
He's got Digby on the take, scores! Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot, hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of the NLL Social Circle, where we take a look at some of the big stories happening around the league on social media this week. And it all starts off in Toronto, as their upcoming game against the Calgary Roughnecks promises to be an intense one on the floor and an emotional one off the floor. The Toronto Rock will be retiring number 7's jersey. That's right, Colin Doyle's jersey retirement night. Fans across the league reacting to this one. In fact, Bryce Davidson says he'll be making the trip down from Muskoka. Fans were also asked to share their favorite Colin Doyle moment on social media, and I just love this picture from Sean Sutton with Colin and his son. Here's a heartwarming story out of Saskatchewan. Bobby Rose is a huge Rush fan, and she tells us why on Facebook this week. Bobby says that she is blind, but her husband said that she would really enjoy a Rush game. After going to her first one, she knows why. She says the crowds were loud and exciting, and now her and her husband are season ticket holders. That is a great story, Bobby. International Women's Day was this past week, and teams as well as players were celebrating the special woman in their lives. Just take a look at this picture from Kyle Buchanan with his mommy. So sweet. Well, a lot of fans were going home sockless after the Colorado Mammoth game last week. Callum Crawford earned his first career sock trick, and just take a look at some of the pictures that we found on social media, including this one from Matt Jenkins saying he's going home barefoot tonight. And another big night for Dane Doby, who tied a career high of 11 points. And because he was on fire in that game, well, he earned himself a fire helmet. That wraps up this week's episode of the NLL Social Circle. Fans, if you want a chance to be featured here, well, all you gotta do is use the hashtag NLL and tag us in any of your social media posts. For NLL Productions, I'm Mia Gordon.
Time to get back at it. The first 30 minutes are in the books.
Now we return to the battle.
This is Saskatchewan Rush third quarter action.
Live on 98 Cool.
Welcome back with 14:27 left to go because they jumped the gun on us like this was the Canadian Junior Football League or something. Trying to do a broadcast here, boys. Help us out a little next time. John Fraser, Casey Guerin, Todd Joyce with you. Callum Crawford with it down low. He goes back over to Chris Wardle. Wardle with a hat trick tonight goes down low. We can tell you the Rush, after 30 minutes of play, lead Colorado 8-6. 14:04 left to go in our O'Brien Sales and Leasing third quarter. Robert Church down low for Ben McIntosh. McIntosh up top for Curtis Knight. Knight goes to the far side for Dan Taylor of Saskatchewan. He's going to come in, shoot, and just miss over on the far side behind Dylan Ward. That bounces all the way back. Matthews Taylor, and a great slide save on his knees by Dylan Ward to keep Dan Taylor off the scoreboard. 13:39 left to go in our third quarter. Stephen Keogh drives in Rush territory, stops up. He's going to go one-on-one with Chris Corbeil. Back down low for Zach Greer. Greer, back up top, finds McLaughlin alone in front and hits the post. McLaughlin was left alone in front and hit the post behind Aaron Bolt.
Well, there's been some serious drops in coverage, I guess you would say, for the Rush so far this game, and it's uncharacteristic that you see such a lapse, but we've seen it tonight.
Rush leading 8-6 in our third quarter. 13:02 left to go. There's a big shot. Adam Jones turned aside again by Dylan Ward. Loose ball scooped up by Hope. Back up top is Callum Crawford. Sorry, Casey, I'm trying to get my computer started up again. I closed the tab with the scoreboard on it. As I leave you out to dry. 12:42 left to go. Crawford in Rush territory. He's going to drive past Cornwall, bounce off Midsky. Back down low for Zach Greer. Greer intended for Crawford. That's going to bounce out of his reach. And it's going to be an over and back, and Jeff Cornwall is going to be there. Cornwall will pick it up. 12:29 left to go. Cornwall is going to spin back. Get it to Dan Taylor down low. Ilya Gaich out on him. Dan Taylor being pressured all the way out to nearly half. He's going to bounce it across to Benny McIntosh. Back down low for Marty Dinsdale. Dinsdale's got a seeing eye goal tonight. Dinsdale shoots and hits the post. Dinsdale sniped one in the top corner and hit two posts tonight, Casey.
And that one especially pretty as he takes that shot on the run, almost in between steps, and kind of catches Dylan Ward off guard.
Down low is Curtis Knight with it now in Colorado territory. Ben McIntosh shoots and a left arm save by Dylan Ward. Curtis Knight, the man up top. Knight directs traffic back to Marty Dinsdale. Back up top is Mark Matthews. Matthews goes to Dan Taylor. Curtis Knight now up top. There's a stick broken down on the floor. That belongs to Taylor Stewart, so it looks like the Rush basically have a power play out there. As Gaich pressures Matthews. Matthews comes in, shoots, and everybody thought it went in, but it just went off the back of the boards here and into the netting behind Dylan Ward. 11:35 left to go, and they're able to get Stewart back to the bench, so 5 men with actual sticks. Some stats for you, too, from the first half, Casey. 9 out of 17, Colorado retook the lead on faceoffs, both teams 1 for 1 with the man advantage. 5-on-5 lacrosse as Callum Crawford meets up with Chris Corbeil. Corbeil pushes Crawford outside. Crawford backs up. He goes down low for Wardle. Already got a couple. Back up top, Soroketti. Soroketti with 11:04 left to go and an 8-6 lead for his team. Dishes to Ben McIntosh. He's got a pair tonight. And the Rush have scored 6 of the past 7 goals with 2 separate 3-goal runs. Looked like Colorado had ended that, but a goal just before regulation expired in the first half was waved off because of a crease violation. Mark Matthews up top as he's being forced way outside. He's just going to fling that one down into Colorado territory. Dylan Ward scoops it up, and he'll go short to Robert Hope. The Peterborough native in his 3rd year of NLL play comes off, gets it to Callum Crawford. Crawford in his 12th year and really having a great year. 20 goals, 38 assists coming into this one, and he's already got 3 assists as well tonight. Up to the 31 assist mark then. Stephen Keogh takes a shot. That one bounces. Looks like it was partially blocked. It's going to way out of play, not touch anybody on the Rush. So they throw a ball to Aaron Bold, who gets it up to Jeff Cornwall. 10-12 left to go. 8-6. The Rush continue to lead. Back to work on offense is Mark Matthews. Pardon me, that's Dan Taylor to Marty Dinsdale. He goes down low for Ben McIntosh. McIntosh is going to come in. Back to the far side for Dan Taylor. Taylor, Creighton Reed comes out to oppose him. Back to McIntosh, and that one goes off of McIntosh, off of one of our officials. That can't feel good. Never good getting a pass right off the ribs. During practice the other night, I took one right off the back of the hamstring while I was doing an interview with head coach and GM Derek Keenan. Kind of stung a little, Casey. I'm not going to lie, but I'm soft.
And that ball isn't.
No. Callum Crawford back to Zach Greer. Greer on the near side working one-on-one with Rubish. Good matchup there. Rubish thought he had it turned over. Greer scoops it back up, but he's forced to retreat. Takes a long shot from distance on Aaron Bold. Pops it out, controls the rebound to Jeremy Thompson. 9:20 left to go. Rush 8, Mammoth 6. Robert Church now. Church with some space. Goes between the legs of Dylan Ward, but hits the post. I believe they're going to say that hits the post, and it'll be Rush ball when we come back. Timeout time. Rush 8, Mammoth 6. This is the National Lacrosse League.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Sports Interaction, Canada's home for worldwide sports betting. Bet responsibly at sportsinteraction.com. Disclaimer, only residents of Canada may open an account with Sports Interaction. The service is not available to users outside of Canada.
This is your team, Rush Nation, live on 98 Cool.
Welcome back to the SaskTel Center. John Fraser, Casey Guerin upstairs. Well, Todd Joyce, you got a first-hand look at some unusual equipment for Mark Matthews during the timeout.
Yeah, Mark Matthews takes a softball at every opportunity he gets, every timeout. He puts it back in his stick for two reasons. One, he's keeping the pocket in his stick, but also he's stretching out the plastic to get a wider tongue on that stick.
Thanks a lot, Todd, our man between the benches. 9:01 left. Mark Matthews with it now to Robert Church. Church was hit by Hope. Robert Hope out of Peterborough, and he knocks him down and turns it over. Back up top is Joey Capito in transition. Capito spins off of Cornwall's check. Back up top, that's where he connects there with Brent Adams out of Connecticut. Adams, just outside the restraining line, goes back to Chris Wardle. Wardle drives in. He's going to shoot, and that one bounced low and outside. Doesn't touch Bold, so no reset. McLaughlin winds from distance. That's a save by Aaron Bold. Good rebound control, though, but right Johnny on the spot was Callum Crawford. Good battle with Mike Messenger. Messenger loses his stick, and Nick Bilic picks it up. Bilic has a step on his man. Bilic is going to come in, get it to Brett Minsky. He hits the post. Wide open goal. Dylan Ward down and out, and Minsky can't make it 2 goals tonight.
Well, he certainly had the opportunities for three, hasn't he?
Minsky could have a hat trick. He just doesn't want to come on with us after the game. 8-6 the Rush lead, 8 minutes left to go in the O'Brien Sales and Leasing third quarter. Far side is Callum Crawford. He gets it to Jacob Rouet. Rouet is going to drive on Jeff Cornwall. Goes back to Crawford. Crawford spins in. Crawford shoves Chris Corbeil with one, and it snipes! Callum Crawford stiff-armed Chris Corbeil. Not easy to do. Underhand finds the top corner over the right side of Aaron Bold, and with 7:45 left, the Rush lead is 1 again.
You could almost feel the air getting sucked out of the building on that shot. That was just an absolute laser, low to high. I said it a little bit last year. It seemed like, guys that could go take that underhand shot and go high with it. A lot of goalies make that move down once they see the low trajectory. But, geez, if you can place that shot like Callum Crawford just did, you're going to have a lot of success, and that was a rocket.
Ilya Gaich now taking most of the faceoffs for Colorado after some struggles early on by Dan Coates. He seemed to have Jeremy Thompson's number. Thompson out there right now against Keogh. He's going to drive towards Ryan Dilks, and Thompson team up to force that one out, but he rolls it all the way back to Chris Wardle. Wardle goes back down low for Keogh. Keogh takes a bouncing shot past the body of Ryan Dilks, and Thompson takes a stick right to the face. We got a penalty coming up, but he's going to find Ryan Dilks in alone. Dilks comes in, shoots, and Dylan Ward with the big save, and that loose ball will be scooped up by Jordan Gillis. And I think, no pardon me, that's Bryce Sweeting, another Peterborough product, much like Casey Guerin. And Sweeting had some words for Dilks there when he couldn't bury from in tight. But the Rush are going back to the power play.
Well, I was initially surprised because the two referees closest to that hit in the head, which, by the way, I could hear through the headset that we're wearing. I could still hear it. But there was a third referee, the lead referee, that actually made the call. Dilks almost negated that with a shot in tight, but couldn't put it past Dylan Ward.
So 2 minutes for slashing to Callum Crawford after he caught Jeremy Thompson up high. The Rush 1 for 1 on the power play. Very clean game. Not just one penalty on each side that created a man advantage, and then we also had coincidental minors at one point. So.
Yeah, and I said it. Colorado's taking the least amount of penalties of any team in the league. Saskatchewan hasn't been taking many either. So that's one aspect of the game that's kind of been predictable.
Matthews, he goes to Church. Up top is the end mark. Matthews hits the post.
That's a lot of posts tonight.
That's 3 by my count, 2 by Dinsdale now, 1 by Matthews. 7 minutes left to go on the BN Metals power play advantage here for another 145. Church and Matthews working up top. Down low is Dan Taylor. Ben McIntosh, quick stick and a goal! Hat trick, Ben McIntosh. Rush up by 2 again, and they're 2 for 2 on the power play.
Well, and if you know that pass is going to get through, you'd almost call it a guaranteed goal if it gets into the stick of McIntosh with that empty net. But Dylan Ward's shown twice tonight how fast he can move side to side, but this time can't get there in time. Benny Mac puts it past him, and that's 2 for 2 on the power play for the Rush tonight.
I would dare say any other goalie in the universe, McIntosh has 6 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Del Bianco. We've seen how fast he can move, how athletic he is, but Dylan Ward just really does a bang-up job.
As we got a debate going on here as head coach Pat Coyle, the Colorado Mammoth, not happy with something, and our officials over to talk to Derek Keenan, Jimmy Quinlan, and Jeff McComb on the Rush bench. Not exactly sure what the discussion would be about. But Jimmy Quinlan is fired up about something. Todd's got it. Todd Joyce down between the benches.
All right, so it was interesting. Before the game, I ended up talking to an official a little bit just about some stuff. They're down to 2 men. One of the officials is gone. He got injured, so he is out right now. They're down to a 2-man system, which is what they used last year. They're used to it, but they do not bring the shot clock operator in to help out with this. So there are 2 men here.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Todd. Todd Joyce down between the benches, much more observant than Casey and I upstairs. Rush 9, Mammoth 7, as Ryan Dilks runs it up past half. Dilks bumps it back. Jeff Cornwall's out there. 6:35 left to go in the O'Brien Sales and Leasing third quarter. Matthews on the far side. Hope closest defender to him. Back up top is Church. Church down low for Curtis Knight. Under 10 left on the shot clock. Knight connects there with Matthews. Matthews is going to come in, shoot. And it doesn't look like he got quite all of that. And again, Matthews getting into it with the man in front of Dylan Ward. He's been chippy tonight, Casey.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I'm playing defense for the Mammoth, I'm doing the same thing. Anything to get under Matthews' skin. I mean, just one of the elite players in the league, and anything you can do, may as well.
Eli McLaughlin now with it. Blows past Jeremy Thompson. Goes back up top for Callum Crawford. Crawford, no look pass back to McLaughlin on the near side. Nowhere to go. He's going to shoot. Turned aside by Bold. Thompson, that went in and out of his stick, but he's able to recover the loose ball and get it to Chris Corbeil. Corbeil's going to go for a run. Corbeil, he connects with McIntosh and pass a little low as McIntosh tried to shoot all in one motion, but falls out of his stick, and here comes Joey Capito. He's going to run the floor into Rush territory. Jacob Rouet now, just outside of the Rush restraining line. Callum Crawford. He goes back to Keogh. There's a shot from Rouet. He's going to go off the face of Jeff Cornwall and be picked up by Keogh. And there's Mike Messenger looking mean, trying to knock him off. But instead, McLaughlin was wide open for a minute. McLaughlin upset at himself. He didn't pull the trigger on that. And with 5:11 left to go, Rush offense going back to work. They're up by 2, 9-7. Adam Jones, and got a hard pick there called on the rush, and that's going to get Creighton Reed a lane to the net. Reed backs up. It's going to be Ilya Geich. Geich drives towards the goal. Low shot turned aside. Right leg of Aaron Bold. Into the corner is Dan Coates. Creighton Reed is in a foot race with Chris Corbeil. He's going to lose it. Corbeil scoops the loose ball all the way into Mammoth territory. Adam Jones picks it up. Jones dishes it back for Curtis Knight, a little high. Knight had to jump, and he's going to loft the pass back to Mark Matthews. 4:36 left to go, third quarter. Adam Jones backing down his man, takes a low shot. Dylan Ward with the stop. And Ward is going to airmail it all the way up to Jordan Gillis. Gillis to Callum Crawford with 4:20 left on the clock. Crawford, one-on-one with Soroketti. Spin move, drives towards the goal, backs it back up for Roué. Couldn't quite connect it. Nick Billich is all over him, but Roué holds on. Zach Greer, near side, cuts to the middle, winds and fires. That goes off of the rear end of Mike Messenger, but Greer picks up the loose ball. Only 4 seconds left on the clock. Low shot as Greer is nailed, and Aaron Bolt's going to hold on to it. And we're going to take a timeout with an even 4 minutes left. Rush 9, Mammoth 7. This is the National Lacrosse League.
That's impossible.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Sports Interaction, Canada's home for worldwide sports betting. Bet responsibly at sportsinteraction.com. Disclaimer, only residents of Canada may open an account with Sports Interaction. The service is not available to users outside of Canada.
Welcome back inside the SaskTel Center. John Fraser, Casey Guerin upstairs. Todd, you're taking a quick look at the equipment, hanging out by equipment manager Mark Beret. What do you got for us?
Well, you know, superstition is a big thing in every sport, right? So you look at the guys, they got sent a bunch of gloves. Both Colorado and the Saskatchewan Rush got sent new gloves. Some guys are sticking with the old ones just out of the superstition in the field, especially on the offense. You'll see if you take a good look, lots of these guys are sticking with their old gloves, even though they got that brand new set.
In the middle is Dan Taylor taking a shot there for the Saskatchewan Rush. Pardon me, that was Matthews, and it looks like we're going to have a holding the stick call coming up here to Colorado as Matthews was mugged on his way towards the Colorado goal. Thank you, by the way, Todd. And Ilya Geich is going to go for the Colorado Mammoths, so Saskatchewan's power play 2 for 2 on the night, getting their third opportunity here.
Well, this is an important part of the game. Colorado starts taking some penalties. We know how good the Rush power play has been. This is a sticky time here.
So 3:40 left on the clock in the O'Brien Sales and Leasing third quarter. Rush 9, Mammoth 7. Rush with the third power play of the night. 58% on the season, 2 for 2 tonight. Matthews, backdoor pass for Jones. Jones backs up to Matthews. Matthews to Church. He nearly had the corner but just missed, and Jones dove to try to keep that one from going over and back, and instead it will roll all the way down to Rush territory. So with 1:40 left to go on the BN Metals power play, Colorado takes over in Rush territory. Picking that one up is Chris Wardle. Wardle with a hat trick tonight. 3 of the 7 Mammoth goals. She's just going to try to kill some time here with 3 minutes left to go, third quarter. Wardle drives towards the goal. He's backed up by Johnny LaFontaine. Far side. Connects there with Adams. Adams working on Cornwall. As the Rush have the man advantage. Hard to get towards the net. He still does, and he's going to drive and shoot. It's going to bounce in and out of the crease. Rush are going to pick this one up and have 1:15 left of power play time and a 2-goal lead. 2:52 left to go in the third quarter as Adam Jones is the first offensive player to touch it for the Rush. He goes down low to Dan Taylor. Taylor back up top to Jones. Up top is Matthews. Back to Robert Church. In the middle was Dan Taylor, and a great slide save once again by Dylan Ward, the Orangeville, Ontario native. Another big save. So far on the night, he's made 39 saves on 48 Rush shots, Casey Garrett.
And that's a set play for the Rush power play that we see quite a bit. The crease men come up, pick the shooters, ends up a shot for Taylor who can't connect.
Callum Crawford now driving towards the goal, and he'll take a shot, and that's handled by Aaron Bold. Long pass to Chris Corbeil. Corbeil's behind the defense, but couldn't hold on. So Corbeil puts it back down on the turf, and he's going to roll it towards Dan Taylor. 25 seconds left to go in the power play, so Rush one last chance on offense here to get something done. Dan Taylor to Adam Jones. Under 2 minutes left to go. Church up top, Matthews. Robert Church to Adam Jones. Jones shoots and didn't miss by much, but it goes off the back boards, and it's going to be picked up by Colorado. So, and then a big hit right in front of the Mammoth bench forces the loose ball. Jones has it now. Robert Church with it. Church back to Jones. When it looked like the Mammoth were getting out of jail free, Jones all of a sudden has it, but Ilya Gaich comes flying out of the penalty box, creates the turnover. Giving him some help there was Robert Hope. Gaich is going to pick it up there, and he looked a little angry to be in the sin bin after running out and hitting Adam Jones there, Casey.
Well, I know firsthand about Ilya Gaich. He's a tough player, and, you know, really a guy who can play both ends of the floor. Though he plays mostly defense now, he's a very capable player.
Callum Crawford with it, driving towards the goal in Rush territory. Wicked shot, just bounces a little low, and up into the third row here at SaskTel Center. And with a minute to go, Rush take over. Mike Messenger to Ben McIntosh. Stewart's all over McIntosh the second that he stepped on the floor. He dishes to Curtis Knight to avoid the pressure and goes back to Dan Taylor. Taylor bounced to McIntosh. McIntosh shoots, and that's going to hit the man in front, Creighton Reed, with a big shot block with the midsection. And 40 seconds left. Colorado's going to run it down the floor. Stephen Keogh's got it now. Keogh, the Syracuse product, to Rue. Keogh now drives towards the Rush goal. Bounces it back to Zach Greer. Greer on the near side, trying to get towards the goal. Spinning. Can't get a shot away as Jeff Cornwall is in his back pocket right now. Still does, because that's what Zach Greer does. And Colorado gets the reset. Ward took a couple minutes to realize what was going on. Now he's on his way to the bench. Under 10 seconds left to go. Rush 9, Mammoth 7, but Mammoth with the extra attacker. Back behind it. Keogh shoots and scores. Stephen Keogh picks the corner on Aaron Bold with the extra man on. And with 3.7 seconds left in our third quarter, Mammoth cut the Rush lead to 1 yet again.
See, I think the last couple minutes here in this third quarter have been really pivotal. If the Rush score on the power play and go up 3 into the fourth quarter, this game, you know, it takes a shift in the balance here. Now Colorado comes back and makes it a 1-goal game going into the fourth quarter. This was a really, really important couple minutes in this game.
So with 3.7 seconds left to go, Thompson will settle in with Gaich. And they're going to award it to Saskatchewan. Thompson's just going to hold on, and we will head to the break. Thompson taking a late shot, nearly his time expired there. He's getting an earful from Ilya Gaich. Stepping in to defend Thompson is Mike Messenger as the lights fade to black here. Not happy with Thompson is Ilya Gaich.
And this might be a bad time to turn the lights off.
And we got a shove. Nick Bilic gives Gaich a shove on his way back to the bench. So we're now going to take a timeout as the Crush Dance team comes on the floor. After 3, Rush 9, Mammoth 8. This is the National Lacrosse League.
He's got Digby on the take, scores! Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot, hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today.
This is awesome. Thompson and Geitz are going to
Will
go.
the Rush come out on top? Will they crush their opponent? Let's find out. This is the fourth quarter, live on 98 Cool.
Fourth quarter underway. Rush lead the Colorado Mammoth 9-8. Colorado has not won while trailing at half at all this season. Rush up by one as Jeremy Thompson and Ilya Geitz continue their conversation coming out of the third quarter timeout where the two of them were face-to-face with each other. But it's the Rush offense right now looking to add to the one-goal lead. Robert Church knocked down there. Nice work by Greg Downing. Takes a low shot. And another quick rebound attempt by Ben McIntosh. Both turned aside by Dylan Ward. Should be 50 shots on the night for Saskatchewan. And Colorado going to work. 14-19 left in the OPA fourth quarter. Jacob Rouet passes and drives. Callum Crawford with it, trying to reconnect with Rouet, does so, but Messenger had forced him to the backside. Adams, big hard shot from the top, turned aside right foot of Aaron Bold, and Jeff Cornwall scoops it. He's going to go for a run. Cornwall, Stewart now with him, all over him. I love this defense here by Colorado. As soon as the ball carrier gets it, they're all over him. Far side down low is Curtis Knight. Knight drives towards, back to Mark Matthews. Matthews now into the middle of the floor. Matthews' shot, and a good save is out. Cutting down the angle, getting real aggressive was Ward.
He was almost out of his crease there, cutting it down.
It was unbelievable. Adam Jones now with it up top after the Rush get the reset off the save from Ward. Mark Matthews, far side. Marty Dinsdale takes a shot. That one's going to go off of a body and harmlessly behind the goal. 13:22 left to go in the fourth quarter. Rush 9, Mammoth 8. Far side is Taylor Stewart. Stewart, the rookie out of Coquitlam, goes to Chris Wardle. Wardle in his third year in the league. Victoria product. Big shot there by Keogh, who had the last goal. Thompson can't scoop the loose ball. It's loose in front. Wardle's there. Keogh forces it again. Eli McLaughlin into the front. Thompson comes out of nowhere, hammers Eli McLaughlin. McLaughlin then gives it back to Thompson. Soroketti out to help out. Soroketti forces the turnover out of Keogh. Adrian Soroketti. He's normally such a nice guy. He's mad tonight.
Well, that's good NLL lacrosse right there. Hard hitting, fighting for a loose ball late in the fourth quarter, one goal game. That's what this league is all about.
Ben McIntosh back to Mark Matthews. Matthews backs up. He goes to McIntosh. McIntosh tries to fake, but he's pushed back out by Sweeting. McIntosh comes in, takes a high shot off the end boards. Downing scoops it, and he's hit by Robert Church. Underhands it near half to Ilya Geitz, and Nick Bilic gives him a couple of hacks, but he's able to get it to Callum Crawford with 12:13 left on the clock. Crawford, first place in the West Division, up for grabs tonight, and you'd have 2 out of the 4 games. Penalty coming up here to Colorado for a cross-check as Messenger took one down low, and Eli McLaughlin walks off, and Nick Bilic gives him a couple of shots. Bilic has to be careful.
Well, somewhere you're not covered is on the hips. You take a cross-check on the hips, and that's one you feel. So again, the Mammoth not doing themselves any favors by putting the Rush back on the power play. They got lucky shouldn't say lucky. They did a good job killing it last time. And as I say, that could have been a big spot there. If the Rush score on that power play, go up 3, could be a different game.
So Zach Greer sits at the SaskTel Center penalty box for the first time as a visitor. Matthews up top, Rush power play, 2 for 3 on the night, as Casey mentioned. Matthews winds up, big shot, shoots and scores! Mark Matthews Rush 10, Mammoth 8. Third power play goal of the night.
And we said it. I don't think Matthews has felt this comfortable. I think he's been dealing with, well, we know he's been dealing with some upper body injuries. And when that happens, not only does it hurt to shoot, but your power's off, your accuracy's off. He looks a lot more comfortable today to let that big shot from the outside go when he's able to. Ward does get a piece of that one, but he beats him and makes it a 2-goal game.
Ward got about 78% of it, but it spins off of his left shoulder pad and behind. So with 11:47 left to go in regulation, Rush now up 10-8. So with 11:40 left to go, they had 15 goals last time they met. It's now 18 goals. So a little bit more offense tonight as Callum Crawford has it for the Mammoth. Crawford into the middle, had some time. John LaFontaine, great job to block that one as Crawford had some space, but he gets it down low. Chris Wardle, fourth of the game. 10-9. Once again, Colorado within 1 goal.
Well, Wardle hadn't scored since that big first quarter, I don't think, but he's been teeming with confidence. The young man is just, he's looked really comfortable getting through the middle and ends up right at the top of the crease and ends up putting one past Bold to, again, they're hanging around, make it a 1-goal game.
Wardle with his 4th goal. He's got 4 points, all of them goals. Callum Crawford, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. Matthews now leading the way for the Rush after that goal. 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. Face-off violation call on Jeremy Thompson, and Colorado gets a chance to take it over. 11:21 left to go. Colorado was up 3-0 and 4-2 in this game, but the Rush went on a 7-out-of-8 run to take the lead, and they haven't relinquished it since. Colorado looking to change that now. Great chances. Wardle has it. Low shot past Aaron Bold. Bounces, and then Jeff Cornwall is mugged on his way to the other end of the floor. Loose ball picked up by the Mammoth, and they're going to set back up on offense. Under 11 minutes left to go. McLaughlin to the far side for Wardle. Wardle's got 4. He makes it 5. Chris Wardle, 5th goal of the game. Tie game. 10-10.
Is he feeling it, or is he feeling it, John?
He's having himself a game. Wow.
That's confidence right there. Puts the one step, backs it up, finds himself open. The defender trips a little bit there, but he makes no mistake. Just a quick sidearm, top shelf. Does it on the run, too, which is so important.
Are you surprised at all, Casey, with 10:50 left in the 4th? We're tied?
I am not. This is we knew that this game was going to be close. These are 2 teams that are really playing well.
Soroketti, he gets it to Johnny LaFontaine, over to Corbeil, who shoots, and I don't know how Dylan Ward got over there, but I'm not surprised he did. He's been that good. Even that amazing save looked relatively routine. Adam Jones with it as the Rush picked up the loose ball. They set up in Colorado territory. Curtis Knight. Back over to Marty Dinsdale. He's going to go one-on-one. Jones now with it to Matthews. Matthews cuts in and shoots. And Ward slides over, pops up the left arm, and makes the stop. 10:15 left to go, and taking it up is Brent Adams. One of those players that you mentioned, Casey, so good at playing 2 ways. Stephen Keogh now with it. Keogh back up top to Rouet. Rouet and Keogh play catch on the near side of the floor. 10 left on the clock. Keogh's going to go over to Greer. That one just misses, but is picked up by McLaughlin, who connects with Crawford, and Aaron Bold took that one directly in the middle of the pantaloons, and I think we're going to have a timeout. Rush 10, Mammoth 10. This is the National Lacrosse League.
This week's episode of Versus, Dane Dobie of the Roughnecks going up against Mitch Jones of the Bandits. Let's take a look at the champion play. Jones falling on his face and scores. Yep. That play took down Dan Dawson last week. It's our one-time reigning champ, and this week he's going to go up against Dane Dobie of the Roughnecks, who has a behind-the-back goal in a crazy performance against the Swarm.
You want to bet you might see that on Versus later this week on the NLL's plays of the week.
You guessed it, Dobie comes up with the around-the-world behind-the-back goal. Who have you got, Dobie? Or do you have Mitch Jones? Fans, we need your help. You got to head to Twitter. You got to cast your vote.
Welcome back inside the SaskTel Center. John Fraser, Casey Guerin upstairs. Downstairs with an injury update on Aaron Bolt, who took that in the man zone. Todd Joyce.
Well, since I don't have friends on the Colorado bench anymore with Pat Coyle, I spend a little bit more time over on the Rush side. Aaron Bolt comes over. Carlson's right beside me. He was huffing and puffing. He's a little tender right now, but he's back in. Trainer was with him on the side here just to see how everything worked out. But yeah, you're right, John. That was right, right there, and he's feeling it. So we'll see what happens here.
As the mascot comes onto the floor and causes a bit of a delay. Thanks a lot, Todd Joyce. That's probably you know what? For a mascot to create a delay, that's probably a good time here, giving Aaron Bolt a couple more minutes to recover, as our officials aren't exactly thrilled right now. 10-10, Rush and Mammoth, 9:49 left to go, fourth quarter. Chris Wardle, Casey Guerin, having himself one hell of a game.
Well, it's a career night. He came in with 7 goals. He's got half of the goal output with 5 tonight here for the Mammoth. Drafted in the 6th round back in 2013. He had 10 goals last year in 18 games. This is just a breakout game for him.
Matthews and Church in front of another sold-out crowd here at the SaskTel Center, 15,037. Along with you all at home, wherever you might be. Dan Taylor with it. He takes a shot, but Saskatchewan called for something off the ball, and Colorado's going to take over. 9:21 left to go, and every possession becomes that much more crucial. Creighton Reed back to Chris Wardle. Yeah, give it to Wardle, probably a good idea. Could be back-to-back sock tricks for Mammoth players if he gets one more. Crawford to Rouet. Back across to Crawford. He's going to work on Jeremy Thompson. He goes back up top for Greer. Wardle has that pass picked off by Kyle Rubish, and Rubish is going to go for a run. Nice D, though, by Zach Greer. Zach Greer strips it. Greer's got a chance. He's got to step on. Rubish comes in. Great save, Aaron Bolt. Zach Greer was in alone, had a chance to take the lead, and Bolt turns him aside. 8:43 left to go, Opa fourth quarter. John LaFontaine after Greer stepped in the crease, so the Rush get a free setup. Ben McIntosh. He goes back to Marty Dinsdale down low. Dinsdale's having himself a nice game too. Matthews, he's the man up top. Matthews, great job there by Downing, popping out of his stick, and then McIntosh scoops it and takes a hit. Dylan Ward picks it up, gets it to Dan Coates, and 10-10 with 8 minutes left to go. Coates is going to take it to Rush territory. Coates holds, waiting for something to set up here. Goes back to Callum Crawford. That's probably not a bad idea. Crawford finds McLaughlin. He was alone heading to the net, and it went off his stick and out of play. Bold has a word with Messenger there, too, about don't let McLaughlin run to the net.
It's happened quite an alarming amount of times this game. Off-ball side just streaks to the net and finds himself wide open.
Robert Church back up top to Adam Jones. It starts to get loud in here. 15,000. Matthews shoots and scores! Mark Matthews. Rush retake the lead with 7:46 left to go.
If you told me Mark Matthews took a shot from outside 5-hole against Dylan Ward, I'd say he probably would have saved it. But Mark Matthews is Mark Matthews, and he can do things that a lot of players can't. That's a big one.
That's
obviously
huge. That will be Matthews' hat trick goal. And you're right, Casey. As a guy who was on the road with the team last weekend, he looks completely different. Matthews, 6th point of the game. 3 goals, 3 assists, and Thompson with a big face-off win. Rush 11, Mammoth 10. Thompson, Downing's all over him. Turns that one over. Holding, ball pops up. It's a pop fly. Takes 2 bounces into the Rush bench.
That's
going to be Rush ball. Big break there as that had just gone off of the Mammoth player, Cameron Holding, because it looked like that was headed straight to the Rush bench off of the Rush player, Thompson. Matthews to Dinsdale. Rush back to work on offense. Ben McIntosh. Dan Taylor's up top to Marty Dinsdale. His shot blocked there. Ilya Gaich, great play there. Gaich now in a foot race with McIntosh. The two battle all the way down to the Rush side of half. McIntosh now loses his stick, but he's using his feet to keep him away. Messenger hits his man, which ends up hitting the Rush player McIntosh, and the Rush are going to be awarded the ball.
Well, you can see how gritty these two teams are and how important every loose ball is. Every extra possession at this point in the game is huge.
So the rush now, under 7 minutes to go. Marty Dinsdale back up top. Dan Taylor, rush by 1. 11-10, they lead. Mark Matthews comes in looking for his 4th, but that's blocked. That's off of the leg of Dan Coates. Mammoth captain with a great play. He's shaken up, waving somebody else to go play on Curtis Knight, and Knight's there. Knight takes a shot from a sharp angle, turned aside. Dylan Ward, 6:36 left to go, and Colorado's going to take it over. Ilya Gaich over to the far side for Taylor Stewart. Stewart, first year in the league, goes back to Adams. Adams goes to the far side. Zach Greer one-on-one. Brett Midsky, the former teammates with a battle. Greer wins the best of it, but Midsky rebounds. Greer got by Midsky. Midsky came over the top and knocked the ball out.
That's some good one-on-one defense there from Midsky.
6:14 left to go. Here comes Jeff Cornwall. Rush back to work on offense. They lead by 1, looking to make it 2 with 6 minutes left in the open fourth quarter. Matthews, up top, Adam Jones. Back to Ben McIntosh. Robert Church, he goes one-on-one with Sweeting. Creighton Reed in to help out. Matthews back to McIntosh. McIntosh shoots. It squirts through, but not into the net. Popped up in the air onto somebody's stick, and Gillis is the first one there. Gillis retrieves and is going to go for a run. Joining him over on the far side is Joey Capito. Capito to Crawford. That shot partially blocked and will go high and nearly catch our official in the head. We're already down an official tonight. Hate to see go down another one. Callum Crawford. He works it down low. Stephen Keogh, another shot partially blocked. Chris Corbeil with a partial block this time. The rebound, though, picked up in front. Crawford stepped in the crease. Didn't matter because Bolt came up with another big save. 5:22 left. Rush back to work on offense. Johnny LaFontaine. He's got a goal tonight. 3-point night for Johnny Laff. Curtis Knight. Down low. Back up top is Church. Church. He goes to Knight. Knight's going to cut into the middle. Dinsdale with a good pick. Back to Jones. Had his man open for a moment. It was Dinsdale. Church on the loose ball. 5 minutes left. Church drives towards the goal. Tries to dunk it. But saying no dice was Joey Capito. The Hamilton product. And that ball's going to go up and out of play. And we'll take our last time out. Rush 11. Mammoth 10. This is Rush Lacrosse.
Now, Mia, of course, time now for Unstrung Hero of the Week, presented by String King, a player who may not have chipped in on the score sheet, but contributed to his team's successes in some other way. So who have you got?
I have to give it to Ty Belanger. He stepped up so big for the Vancouver Stealth in a very difficult game against the Saskatchewan Rush. He knew he had a challenge ahead, and he was all up for it. Just take a look at his stats in this game. He had 55 saves on 64 shots on goal, 20 saves in the fourth quarter alone to make sure that Vancouver came out on top of this one. This was the 5th straight start for Belanger, and we've spoken about how he's getting better and better, more confident each week. Another stat in this game, he also had 3 assists in this game. He was hoping for a goal, but wasn't quite able to get that. Actually a little disappointed about it, but a big game for him nonetheless. He says he's been finding his rhythm as of late, and you could definitely see that, and that is why Ty Belanger is my unstrung hero for the week.
Ty Belanger playing some of the best lacrosse of his career right now, and I've said it once, I'll say it again. You show me a good team, and I'll show you a good goaltender between the pipes for that team. And the Vancouver Stealth want to turn things around, get things on track. Ty Belanger is going to be a big part of that, and he has been for this team. Now,
here we go. We're going to come down to you on that.
Listening to hard-hitting Rush Lacrosse, live on 98 Cool.
Welcome back inside the SaskTel Center. John Fraser and Casey Guerin safely high up in the broadcast booth. Todd, apparently being between the benches leads to danger.
You know, it's starting to turn into something here. Coach Coyle's looking at me, wants me to look the other way at timeouts, which is fine. But then he puts Goldberg in front of me, but then Ward splashes me with some water. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not reporting on anything they're doing to the Rush, so we'll see what happens.
The adventures between the benches continues.
I love it. Todd Joyce between the benches. 11-10, the Rush lead, 4:38 left to go, fourth quarter. Backdoors McLaughlin. What a play. Kyle Rubish knocks McLaughlin down and takes over.
You know, again, John, the off-ball side just cuts to the net, and they seem to be getting right by their defender.
I got to say, this is funny, especially because Colorado's used to having 3 men. So they must know what goes on with the man between the benches. So maybe you have to get Carlson to give some revenge when we're in Colorado on the 25th there. Mark Matthews finds a man in front. It's Dan Taylor backhand shot. Taylor just missing on the far side. Jones takes a shot. That's going to bounce a couple of times and be picked up. Far side is Creighton Reed for Colorado. 4 minutes left, fourth quarter. Colorado trails by 1, looking for the equalizer here. It's McLaughlin. They've had a couple good chances, but some great one-on-one D by Midsky and Rubish has turned that around. Crawford spins off of Midsky. Has a man in front. Keogh shoots and scores! Stephen Keogh ties it up. 3:44 left to go. Little defensive confusion, Casey.
Well, it is. You know, the rush defense has been really good from the outside. Really active sticks, contesting every shot. And Keogh's been relatively quiet, but nice play by Callum Crawford to make that his defender commit to him, which leaves Keogh alone on the doorstep, who's been pretty quiet. And Keogh makes no mistake, just leaves his feet and puts one past Bold, and that's obviously a huge goal. 3:44 left. We have a tie game.
So the Rush win the ensuing face-off and try to retake the lead in front of the third straight sellout at SaskTel Center. Every Saturday at SaskTel has been sold out. Friday, the one Friday game was about 500 short. Marty Dinsdale with it down low for the Rush. Adam Jones to Mark Matthews. Matthews back up top, Dinsdale finds Knight. Knight makes a move, shoots, and it looked like that was going to go through, but Ward makes another save. Knight picks up his own rebound. That's a massive play there and gets it across to Dan Taylor. Taylor near side shot, try to go short side. Just missed. I do believe that Ward got a piece of that. Dinsdale can't scoop the loose ball, though. Look out. It's a breakaway. Coming in is Cameron Holding, but Dinsdale got back, forcing him to spin back. 2:55 left. 11-11. Make a wish. I could imagine what the wish of both Mammoth and Rush fans are. Probably for a goal right about now for their team. Zach Greer far side. Greer back to Callum Crawford. Crawford to Greer. Greer's going to drive in on Midsky. He's going to turn around, shoot, like right arm save by Aaron Bold. Nick Billich with the loose ball pickup. 2:34 left to go. Billich is going to go for a run. Nick Billich up to Colorado territory. Billich thought about shooting. Decides to spin back and get it to Mark Matthews. Matthews hat trick, 6 points on the night. 2:20 left to go as Matthews moves to the middle. Matthews pushed back out, but he gets it to McIntosh. McIntosh over the top. Church tried to snipe. Taylor had an open net for a moment. Finds Church. Church makes a move. What a great defensive play. Ilya Gaich came out of nowhere, lifted Church's stick when he had a wide open goal. Ward down and out. Keeps it tied at 11.
Well, you got that right. That was a goal saver right there for sure.
Rouet to Crawford. Crawford near side to Stephen Keogh. They play catch near the Colorado bench. Back across. Wardle, he's got 5. Looking to make it 6 and take the lead. To Keogh. Keogh's shot misses the net. Picked up near the bench by Rouet. Rouet comes in the middle. Looking again for Wardle. Wardle, he of 5 goals. Matches up with John LaFontaine. 2 left on the shot clock, and shot clock called on Colorado. 94 seconds left to go. Jeff Cornwall with it. Curtis Knight leads the Rush offense onto the floor. Adam Jones back to Knight. Knight. Matthews. Matthews into the middle. Back to Curtis Knight. Looking to shoot and just misses on the far side. Dan Taylor picks up the loose ball. Taylor takes a shot. Nearly surprised Dylan Ward. But Ward with another save. 60 shots for the Rush tonight. 1 minute, 4 seconds left to go. Long pass for Eli McLaughlin near his own bench. Mishandled for a moment, but controlled and given to Stephen Keogh. To Crawford. Into the middle was Greer. McLaughlin's alone. Great save. Aaron Bold. Another game saver. Adrian Soroketti now. 48 seconds left. Tied at 11. Tries to get it to Matthews. Misfired. Matthews can't recover on the pass. Big mistake there, Casey.
That is a big mistake. If worst comes to worst there, you got to pull it out, set up your offense, and have a good look. That was an unforced error.
Coming on now is Brent Adams. Adams to Wardle. You know they want Wardle with the ball. Back up top, Adams. He goes to Rouet. Rouet's got a man open on the other side. In front, Wardle. Ball rolls out. Adams with it. Adams one-on-one. Corbeil's lost his stick. Shot save, Aaron Bold, and he holds on in his pantaloons. And Bold's pantaloons give them enough time to call timeout. I think we're going to have overtime again tonight, Casey.
Well, there's still tons of time left. A little over 11 seconds, I think. You pull Bold, get it 6-on-5 set up for last shot, and there's plenty of time left here. They'll have a set play all ready to go. It's just, it's funny. It's such a tough league to predict anything, but you knew this game was going to be close. But just the way it's played out, every game has got its own feel. But the Rush defense, at times have just let guys unexplainably just get right in behind them. And on the other team, Colorado was giving up a whole bunch of transition early. So kudos to them for finding a way to get themselves back in that game. Because as I say, in the last couple minutes of the third quarter, this could have, the Rush could have started to pull away on a couple of those power play opportunities. So just a gritty effort by the Mammoth tonight.
Casey, I'm pretty glad there's only maybe one goal left because I don't know if my voice can make it much further.
The vinegar shots are doing you well, buddy.
Oh, 4 vinegar shots because that's how you fix your voice. Here we go. 11 seconds left. Score is 11-11. Rush net empty. Looking to win it here. Mark Matthews will take the ball in his own territory. He's going to go for a run. Matthews, time for one play. It's Robert Church to Adam Jones, and coming up with the big save was Dylan Ward. McIntosh, a great job to keep that ball down low, or the Mammoth would have had an open net. Little hat tip to Benny Mack, and guess what? For a second straight game at SaskTel, fans are getting some free lacrosse, and unlike the last time, nobody's trying to beat the traffic. So we'll have a brief 2-minute timeout, and then I was told after our last game, probably should have explained this, that it is sudden death overtime when it comes to the National Lacrosse League. It's a 15-minute frame, but I really can't see anybody going without scoring here in 15 minutes.
No, the Mammoth are 2-0 this year in overtime, and the Rush are, well, what are they, 2-0 as well?
1-0.
1-0.
1-0, yeah. We've only had the one overtime game. Yeah. That was a win over Calgary. Right now, all right, that means it's time for the overtime picks game. We go downstairs. Todd Joyce. Todd, your overtime picks for both teams.
You know what? Just because I don't like Ward right now and the coach is giving me a little bit of gears, I'm going to go with the Rush.
No, but you got to pick a player for each side, Todd.
Come on, Todd.
Come on.
Okay, how about Ward's going to score on himself? So there's my Colorado pick. And I think Matthews is going to put one right past Ward. So that's how I'm going to end this one.
I love you, Todd. Casey Guerin, who are your picks?
I'm going a little off on the Rush here. Dan Taylor's put together a few big shifts lately, so that would be huge for him to get one here. And on the Mammoth, you know what? The big night continues. How about Wardle?
Chris Wardle. I'm going to go Stephen Keogh to finish off the hat trick for the Mammoth. Ooh, who do I want to pick? I'm going to go Ben McIntosh is going to get his 4th of the game. And it's going to be the game winner.
And he's been known to come up huge when it really matters.
That's why I picked him. I got to look like I know what I'm doing once in a while, Guerin. Shots through regulation, 61 for the hosts, 43 for the Mammoth. Sudden death awaits us in 10 seconds. Every possession that much bigger. So far on the night, face-offs almost even. Saskatchewan, Jeremy Thompson winning 13 of them. Colorado's combination winning 12. It gets loud in here. I think now that fans know there's no ties, they're sticking around. Overtime underway. Jeremy Thompson's going to win it. Thompson retreating back to his own territory. Teams switch sides. Rush now to our right, Mammoth to our left, and Ben McIntosh has it. Dan Taylor, Casey's overtime pick. McIntosh mine. Adam Jones to Mark Matthews. Matthews is going to come in. Drive to the middle with some anger. Going 5-hole and turned aside. Dylan Ward coming up with a stick save. Matthews went to the net in a foul mood and it nearly paid off for him. So Colorado now, their first chance. Joey Capito gets it to Keogh. Fans are booing because Colorado has the ball. I don't hate it, Casey. What can I say? Keogh.
They're passionate.
Goes to the far side for Adams. Adams comes in. Bold got that with the left shoulder. Midsky picks up the loose ball, gets it to Cornwall. Mammoth 11, Rush 11. Next goal wins here at SaskTel Center. Rush call a timeout. You couldn't hear because they had turned up the music. Couldn't even hear the whistles up here. Rush calling a timeout. Casey, you're a coach. Why do you call the timeout in this spot?
Well, I mean, we've seen the overtime games haven't lasted long. Every possession is so big, and they want to make sure they've got the right people on the floor. You can see Jeff McComb the offensive coach of the Rush, drawing up something that they want to do. Ideally, get some picks set and have a set play, have someone draw open. They know where they want to go. The thing with that, you can draw up as many plays as you want, but you start the play the way it's drawn up, but oftentimes somebody else gets open, so you start a play, but lacrosse is a funny game and there's a lot of creativity, but every possession so important. They want to make sure they got their ducks in a row.
SaskTel Center, all 15,037 on their feet. Everybody making noise as the Rush about to go to work here on offense in overtime. Next goal wins. Next goal is first place in the West. It's 13:58. I don't know if that even matters, Casey. I can't see us going 15 minutes without a goal.
I think you're right.
Happens once in a while.
You just get the sense that every time there's a possession, it's just so important. It's not going to take long. We'll get one here pretty soon. I think the average is something like 3 minutes into overtime is when the goal comes.
Knight with it. Knight on Creighton Reed goes down low for Robert Church. Knight moves into Pickham. Church comes in, far side, Jones. Jones back up top for Church. Jones has the Rush's lone overtime winner this year. Ben McIntosh trying to find some space. Great defense here by the Mammoth, keeping him to the outside. McIntosh shoots and scores! Benny Mac! 4-goal night! It's over! Rusher in first! I don't have a voice left!
That's all right, Johnny. I got it from here. McIntosh was looking for someone to dish to, looking for the lefties. No one open, coming to the end of the 30, and he just stands back and rips one past Ward. Nothing he could do there. And the Rush go 2-0 in overtime, undefeated at SaskTel Center this year.
5-0 at home.
And boy, have the fans here at SaskTel Center been treated to some beauty games this year, John?
Unreal. Second straight overtime game at home. Second straight win in overtime. Church with the assist on the McIntosh overtime winner. Make the final. Rush 12, Mammoth 11.
And didn't you pick him?
I did.
Hey,
yeah,
there you go.
I know
there
stuff sometimes. There we go. We're going to take a break. Post-game shows next. Live on 98 Cool.
Goal scored by number 90, Ben McIntosh. Assist to 17, Robert Church. And 42, Mark Matthews. Shots on goal for the Saskatchewan Rush, 63 for the Mammoth, 44. Final score, 12-11 in overtime for your Saskatchewan Rush. The Rush made 32 saves, raising $320 for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation on behalf